dreaming, everybody.
Because she got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
Yo!
Hey.
What is, guys, we're live.
Glad you didn't start directly after the Pee-wee clip. That's the famous like Phil. It started too early. If you do it just when the Pee-wee clip ends, that's like what? No, you need another one. So yeah, glad you got the great ass in there.
Yes. Thanks for being, guys. It's can you believe it's Thursday already?
Thursday the 29th?
Thursday the 29th.
Well, it's the first for me. I'm already over in March. I'm living in the future.
Right, you're in the future. Am I the only one who forgot that February is a short month, and so I'm scrambling to get work done, and I'm having a meltdown right now? Am I the only one?
It's Thursday 29th.
Oh, yeah, it's the last day of the month.
I forgot.
But this February is longer than most other Februarys, so you're getting like a bit of a break.
Retarded.
Yeah, it's a leap year, everybody.
Oh, this is a special. Yeah, gotcha.
And once again, The Simpsons predicted
it. Yes. Simpsons did it. Hey, I got my second Simpsons comic from my new subscription. Remember the nostalgia moment?
Yeah.
Which we're not allowed to do nostalgia anymore. We got to kill nostalgia according to Bancroft.
Yeah, Bancroft says kill nostalgia with a fork.
I agree
with him. Fully agree with him. Throw all of the IPs into a black hole.
Fuck all your childhoods. Give me that shit.
No.
I got a quick story, but not yet. But we can wait, maybe.
Let's get Jason in here.
Okay, yeah.
We have a guest today. Today we have a special guest who has an awesome book that's funded right now. You can get all of the info for that in the description below. But let's bring him on, Mr. Unhinged himself.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Jason.
He's out of control. He's unhinged.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So I was missing issues 1 and 2, so I bought issue 1 for like $2 online.
That's a steal.
Some Sam Keith action there. Yeah. And then I also got online for some strange reason X Factor like number 56 or something.
You see that cover?
Yeah,
it's a dope cover, but I think mine was like had water damage, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna buy another one.
Pretty cool. It's a cool cover. What's up, Jason?
What's going on, everybody?
Thanks for being here.
Good to see y'all. Yeah, nice to have you.
It's your first time being on this show, right?
Thanks for having me.
I usually just tune this channel out, but I was like,
yes. So let me tell you how the show works. This is the creative block. We talk about creative things, storytelling, writing, comic book stuff.
Oh, that's not what I do. I gotta go.
But you draw. You're an illustrator.
Sometimes.
You have this awesome book. I actually was just showing off Absolute Book 2 somewhere to a buddy. And speaking of Sam Keith, I got that kick-ass Sam Keith.
Yeah, that Max homage cover. Yeah, I sold out of that quick, man.
It was freaking sweet. But today we're going to talk about silence in comics. Whether that being comics with no dialogue or narration whatsoever, or the use of panels with no dialogue. I know some creators kind of are OCD and they have to have some words in each panel all the time. But the use of letting that go and the contrast, which is the term that Jake coined last week.
Good term.
Yeah, last episode was entitled.
What was
contrast.
the real word that wasn't as good as contrast?
It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it was a very impactful episode on everyone's psyches. How about that?
Speaking of impact, real quick, I want to give you guys an update on the suspenseful story of my parents' constipated cat.
Oh my god!
You remember?
Oh god!
No,
we ended with the cliffhanger of the cat with an X-ray of a gargantuan turd.
Have you got the X-ray? Have you got?
Yeah, all the way up to the lower intestine, and that's why he went into the vet because he was puking.
God.
So he was like almost dead.
I'm trying to eat something.
I watched him for like 2 days straight, and he took little turds, but not a big one. I'm like, so you take the big one. And then my dad sent me this picture.
Make them big. And
Oh my god!
Narwhal now.
the better move.
That was
You
Look,
know, you
that
guys
was-
have. There's 3 other weeks in a month. You know where you
it's
guys
just Play-Doh.
could
It's just Play-Doh.
Phil,
do stuff on
we-
your channel.
Jason's
talk
here for an
about this.
hour. We need to waste his hour with
Oh,
banal
it's fine.
stories.
Hey, if you miss out on anything, just forget this. Like I said, forget the stream. Go over to Metal Movies and Brewskis. I'll be on there at 11. So, yeah.
God damn it!
He's already promoting for everybody to abandon our show.
Yeah.
Evan.
Well, oh, by the way, everyone, go over to JBot's channel right now and watch it.
Look what you did.
There's a bargain in here.
Oh.
So is the cat alive? Did the cat survive? Yeah, impactful, poignant. On
Yeah.
we have
No,
our
the cat's
collective
doing
work.
good.
Good.
We've been
Every
given-
week I'm re-traumatized on this channel.
We've been giving the cat what's it called? The white powder that gives humans
Cocaine?
Cocaine?
No. It's like
I like how the whole panel instantly went to cocaine.
no, it's for humans that are constipated. I forget what it's called. But we gave it to the
X-Lax?
cat. Yeah, it's like X-Lax. Gave that.
So many jokes. So many jokes.
Oh, anthrax. That's what it is.
Anthrax.
No.
There you
That'll
go.
really unconstipate you.
It
I
will.
was trying
So-
to enjoy. I got my Girl Scout cookies.
What kind
and
are
now
those?
they're Thin Mints, my favorite. And now all I can think about is
Basic.
cat poop. Thanks, Narwhal.
No,
Basic.
unless
They
cat
kinda
poop is
look like
flavored. Like
They're even cat poop colored.
they are. I don't think they
Oh,
taste
Let's
like
ruin them, let's ruin them for it.
I love Thin Mints though.
Dosey
And the lemon
Dos,
one.
Dosey Dos, or
Yeah.
what's the other one? Tagalongs. One, those two are the best.
I do have very basic bitch taste, so I like Thin Mints and lemon things.
Basic.
Like
Where's the
One last-
Samoas?
One
Samoas.
last yeah.
You're so good.
One last thing is the place that the cat took the life-saving poop. It was a mysterious place. We're all like, where is that? It was in my mom's bathtub. So it chose
Yeah, and right in the middle, like on the side of it.
Easy,
Plug.
easy cleaning. Easy.
Cats are
cleaning.
literally
Yeah.
yours. Why would anybody
Yeah.
own a cat? I have no idea.
They're
Because
fluffy
they're murder
and
Fluffy.
cute.
machines, dude. They're awesome. All they want to do is kill things. That's fantastic.
Here's the important question: did the cat get it all out in one piece?
yeah. That was
I'm
the
literally
huge
gonna
fear.
kick everybody from the
Can we
stream.
please move on and talk about comics? I beg you.
I will
I am
end the
groveling.
stream.
Phil's actually annoyed.
I didn't know Phil hates cats.
I hate cats.
I don't want to talk about
How do you hate cats?
I agree.
Cats are my jam.
He especially hates the leavings of cats.
Oh my god.
So you hate a scat cat?
You hit it well
Unless
last
it's
week.
Catman Crothers, he's cool.
See what I did there?
All right, everybody back. Jason's book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of cat turd.
Speaking of cat turds, back that crap.
Here we go. Spring of God, a man of God himself.
It's the
says
best
no to
plug
cat.
ever, Irene.
I am
You're
actually
welcome.
I am with Phil and Student of God in Camp Dog over Camp Cat.
Yeah.
That
Nobody
Dogs
says
are
you have to pick
freaking
one.
Awesome.
No, you do. You do. You have to pick one.
is-
Definitely.
There will be a war one day when the cat fans and the dog fans will have to go to war.
I want both.
Yeah.
I
They're
want a
writing all
house
this
full
stuff.
of 20 dogs and 50 cats. That's
You
my
are.
goal.
Except if,
You definitely are. a
Irene,
single
if you
woman.
put 20 dogs together, they work each other up and they'll kill your cat. That's like what's weird. They get like pack
Aw.
mentality.
That's
Irene
true,
went-
though.
Irene
Terrifying.
wants her house to be that video where that guy is like doing a TV show and he has like all the animals and they're all fucking each other up on the same table. Have you
No,
seen that
actually, no,
video?
no, no. I've been following like this YouTube channel where this guy rescues animals and hatches birds. It's the cutest thing ever. But no. You didn't realize when I said cats, I meant like snow leopards. So the dogs are the ones that get fucked up.
Yeah,
Thank
dogs
you.
get messed up.
Get a lemur.
Ooh,
Oh, those things are weird.
yeah,
They're like
lemurs are
tiny
cool.
humans.
Yeah.
Freaky.
Yeah, lemurs are cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
I really thought it could be cool to have a monkey once, like Ace Ventura style, but like that thing will just rip off your face.
It'll rip your face off.
And-
You
yeah.
totally get a
It-
chimp. It'll
It'll
really
eat
be
your
a great
genitals while you're alive. Don't. Yeah.
Jake,
Is that
Jake,
just the males?
I went to the zoo this past weekend and I saw a big group of echidnas.
Oh,
think
Bancroft
so.
fucking sent me a picture of an echidna, and he was like, "Echidna's greater than hedgehogs," and I'm like, "That thing is equal part cute and creepy."
Well, they were
And
cool.
also-
Well, the echidna is like a big head, like it's much bigger than a hedgehog, and then they waddle when they walk. They go like, it's pretty cool. I have a
They're
video.
fucking
Maybe
cool. I mean,
I've never seen one.
Knuckles is definitely cooler than Sonic.
It's true.
It would make sense.
Knuckles
to be
again?
No,
Yeah, Knuckles is an echidna.
Oh, okay.
but it was a fox.
I thought he was a
That's
fox. too.
Tails. What the
Oh, that's Tails.
okay.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
Knuckles the
my
fox.
my brain farted.
Tails.
I was
Yeah, I
like,
guess
the
Tails
red
is
one.
fox, huh?
Well, you
It
have
looks
that
like he
thing,
took a
that's-
photo of a giant chicken wing.
That's the cat sniffing
Cat.
flowers. That's the cat that saved itself by taking a
It
giant-
leaves or it lives.
That is
I
a
wish it would
really
leave.
fat cat.
Live.
Such a
Did
cute
you-
little cat.
He's very cute.
People are torn.
And
Okay,
it-
so there's a poll. There's a poll in the chat. Dogs versus cats.
Oh man, dogs are gonna obviously.
I
win,
thought you were
but
going to
come
do
on,
hedgehogs
that's
versus
biased.
echidnas.
No,
Vote
dogs
for
versus
by
cats.
Irene and a snow leopard. That's the third option, right? Thank you.
There's no
Babu.
snow leopard.
That's
no.
the third
I want
option.
a snow leopard.
It'll be the next poll.
My friend has Bengal cats.
Ooh.
So big, they're ridiculous. She's got like
Yeah,
a little zoo. Yeah.
I like the huge cat species, like the semi-feral ones. Oh, like the Norwegian forest cats and Maine Coons. They're like
Yeah.
giant,
They're-
fluffy
they get-
killing machines.
Cats are responsible
Well-
for like 20 billion, the death of 20 billion like animals every
They're
year.
little and murdery.
A lot of
Literally the
mice,
worst.
A lot of
bugs,
birds and
bugs
rodents
count.
and stuff like that. But yeah, mass murder. Love it.
Yes.
Gotta get rid of them all somehow.
Yeah, you know what is better than cats? Silence. Which is a segue.
It's gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that make for a weird stream. You're gonna.
That he's
No
telling us
one
that.
told-
Shut the fuck up.
But before we do that, we do have a super chat that just came in from Tay Tay's. Did you guys know Tay Tay's psyop?
Never
Yeah,
heard
it's
of
Todd
it before.
McFarlane.
No idea.
Todd McFarlane is a psyop for $10.
Don't know who he must be.
Why not both dogs and cat? Like some sort of amalgamation freak experiment of genetics?
We featured it on the last week's show. Cat Dog. He was in the
Cat
slide.
dog.
Right.
Yep.
It's
Cat
circle
dog.
next
Like
to cat dog.
Alexander.
Cat
Huh?
dog.
Cat dog.
Nobody
Bonk
got that.
for
No, I
Reenie. Wait, why is there? Oh, hi, Jason. Bonk for Reenie. This
Rainey
bonk's
gets a.
for you, I guess.
Irene gets a bonk.
Are you gonna
Jersey-
pay me that money for my annoyance?
No, it's for you. I'll do one of the
It
short
annoys
ones.
me. That's why.
Oh, one of the longest ones.
Yeah, I'll do the short one. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna need more.
I'm
All right.
drinking.
So, but what we didn't tell you guys is the reason we're doing silence this week is because Jason's book. I've heard this. This is a rumor.
Jason's death.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's true.
No, Jason's not deaf.
Yes, he is.
Is-
Inside. He's dead
There's no-
inside.
Your
He's deaf,
comic
so he
book-
can't read the words, so he has to look at
He's
pictures
not deaf. He's
instead.
blind. There's a
He's,
clear
here we go.
difference.
Your comic right now, which is on Indiegogo, is a silent comic. Is that correct, or did I hear wrong?
Yeah, no, there are sound effects, but it's there's no dialogue.
Oh my god, I'm ending this stream.
Then it's
My
not
bad.
silent. Wait,
Oh, I backed this one. Nice.
Thank you.
Stoked.
Darla.
disqualified. It's not silent. It's got sound effects.
Well, the sound effects weren't even my idea. They were Billy Basco, so you could blame him.
Oh my
In the
Billy
book.
gets in there, just ruins everything.
He ruined the
Ruins
whole thing.
ideas.
Yep. All right, I'll
We got a
refund
good thing
everybody.
going
My
here.
apologies.
And he had to add the sound effects.
It looks cool with them, though. You know.
Yes, this is awesome. This is obviously in your absolute universe. But this is a new
Standalone.
kind of side story, right?
Yeah, it's a standalone little side quest type thing. So yeah, you don't need to you don't need to read Absolute 1 and 2 to understand it, and you don't need to get anything after it to really understand it. It's a fun little romp. It's a gritty indie love letter to the one of my favorite Silence is Silent Night by Frank Miller.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is kind of like my love letter to that, really. Because Frank Miller's. And speaking of Frank Miller, you got the Shelby Robertson cover there.
Yep.
But
Awesome.
yeah, so dope. So yeah, it's what really got me into like wanting to do like comics in that form was like Sin City. So I was like, I gotta do some kind of. I've always wanted to do a silent book too, and I hope it pulled it off. And if I didn't, at least it's a cool art book. You know, I'm not. I've only been. It was only my 4th book ever, and in my 3rd book, I had ink spots. You know, helping with storytelling. So
Yeah.
That was Frog G, right?
yeah, Frog G ink is done. Ink finished lettering it. The editors have it now. So
Cool, badass.
Yeah.
Hey, so are these traditional, Jason?
Yeah, this is except for the sound effects, it's 100% traditional. I didn't use any digital. Like I sometimes might do a mix because of my eyeballs, but I really wanted this to be gritty and messy and just indie. I wanted true indie gore.
Yeah.
Not really so much violent gore, is just the aesthetic of it and so much fun. Like just making it smearing.
Yeah.
How did you do the rain?
Oh, it's Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, and then a nib, and just scratch, just insanity. I really like the chaoticness of rain going in every direction, which is impossible. But it just looks so cool, you know. So I like that idea. But yeah, it dries up real quick, so you got to work fast if you're using that. Like you could use a Posca pen. But I don't know. You just don't. You can get different variations of line weight with a nib better, or even a brush. So.
You know, I love the rain, but I love my favorite part of it is when it's splashing off the character, like how you did this on his arms up here.
Yeah, that's
so
some
cool.
of it is nib work on the tip of the bottle. I would just splatter. Then sometimes I would also even use a toothbrush maybe, and then sometimes I'd even go in with like a brush and just add a little more effect to it. So yeah, they're fun to do. You get in there and get messy. I like it. It's fun to get messy. You know, that's what comics should be fun.
Yes.
One more question. All the thick black, like filling up the page, do you mask off the white and then just slather it on, or how do you do that?
Only with the panels.
Okay.
I only mask the panels out. Aside from that, if I went over something, I would just use white, like the P.H. Martin's white, and just white it out to get that form back in there. The hardest ones were the vertical panels, because it has him walking through the rain, and I actually had to blacken out his pencil lines. So I not completely, but there were some years where I had to completely guess as to what I was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing I masked out though were maybe the panel lines. That's it. I didn't mask anything out. Yeah.
So cool. I'm a huge Sin City fan. I was just watching the film, a little bit of it last night.
So good.
And I recently saw this awesome docu video. It's a 2-parter from this channel called Cinema Sticks, I think it's called. And they talk about Frank Miller's involvement in the actual filmmaking. And then the second part is about all of the green screening they did and how they layered everything together. It's so cool. If anybody loves the comic, loves the films, you got to go.
Or
watch these videos.
if you want to see the most accurate adaptation of a comic to a movie ever, it's Sin City.
Yeah.
That's panel for. I followed it along one time, panel for panel, word balloon for dialogue. It matches verbatim. It's so good. So yeah, Sin City is the closest comic accurate movie.
I got my Sin City shirt on for tonight as well.
Nice. I'm jealous of that.
Yes. So guys, the link is in the description. I see a bunch of people in the chat dropping it. Thank you guys. If that stuff looks cool, definitely grab it. And it's a great price point as well.
Yeah, I'm the only one working. I'm the only one that did it. I was, there's no other team, no other person. It's mainly just to get the book funded because I've always wanted to do it and get it in people's hands. So
something like this, the idea, the silent book, and the style as well is I could totally see it's something you've been wanting to do for a while, and that idea is can I get to this point? Can I do this? So. I love that you're doing it, and
thanks, man.
Everybody definitely grab this.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm a rookie in making comics, so I hope I did it accurately in the storytelling, which is obviously the hardest part because you can't rely on any dialogue. And believe me, there's some moments where I maybe would have thought, hey, I could have used some here or there, but I still had to make it flow. But hopefully I pulled it off. We'll see.
You're not that much of a rookie. You've done a bunch of comics already, so.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't have like 20
years
years in the biz. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You don't need that.
Nah, that's for hacks.
Everybody starts somewhere, huh?
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. So, but like I said, at least there's some dope artwork in it. I love it. So, worst case scenario, you got a nice art book.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's why I'm going to be grabbing it.
Thanks, man.
We got Stat in the chat. Down goes Solo. What's up, guys? A bunch of people here. Thank you, guys. Please hit that like button. Share this out. I tweeted it out and tagged everybody as well. We're going to be talking about something a little different. Kind of, sometimes we talk about plot and narration and narrative. This time, since we have Jason on with his kick-ass silent comic, we're going to be talking the absence of those things in storytelling and kind of the importance of visually telling expressions and emotion through the art, the job of an illustrator. And I thought I wasn't going to do a PowerPoint, but I have.
You did one.
You did it. You gave in.
Phil lovingly prepared. He lovingly prepared links for us and said, "Hey guys, do you want to like maybe read this before the show?" None of us did.
Yeah, so I sent them 2 comics, which are silent comics, so they could read before the show. I said, probably like around noon today or 1, and no one did. And they have no dialogue in the book, so they could have just.
That's a tradition of this showroom where it's not just you. Anytime I send any links,
I know.
I have my whole script. Nobody ever reads it. It's a tradition, so you shouldn't be surprised.
What were the comics? What were the comics that were so difficult?
Well, so I got the G.I. Joe silent issue.
Yep,
famous like issue 21 or something, and then your favorite, the Silent Night.
Silent Night. Yeah,
which we'll look at.
You know what? They're tough reads, man. So I don't blame them.
There's a lot of.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. We'll all read it together.
Yay!
I saw. Down goes Solo says just backed, Jason.
Hey, thanks, Solo. Appreciate it, man.
And some backers. So spread the word, guys.
Appreciate that.
And I wanted to highlight some book that I also have here a little bit later as well that uses that. Is not afraid to put panels in the book that has no balloons on it at all. Which, some people really want to put balloons everywhere.
Yeah, I understand why.
All right. So this is what we call the title slide. All right. The sight, everybody says The Sound of Silence. It's a great song. The sight of silence.
You've already made your first mistake, Phil. This presentation actually does have text in it.
This is just the title.
You've missed the theme.
A title. And this is a contrast in comics. And, I really liked the way you were talking about Impact last week, Jake. And
I liked how I was talking about it, too. I think it's
solid. And the the word contrast, the idea of that, and how you make impact in storytelling, in comedy, in art, in illustration, the impact comes from the contrast, which I think you could use silence as well. And that goes through all mediums of storytelling, especially in something like film, but also in comics and having beats and, stories like that. So that's the title page. And then here's slide number 1.
It's very bright.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Did you maybe take a lot of inspiration from last week's slideshow?
It's a fake out. There was
no letters.
There's nothing. Are we going to build? Is there going to be one letter on the next page? Is this going to be repeated last week?
No, that's it.
Brilliant. Very good.
I did find that emotionally little something there.
You felt a little tingle there?
I just thought you were messing with
Annoyance?
me and that there was fine print somewhere, and you're like, find it, Jason.
No.
So yeah.
You know, people's like color vision varies. So if you have, there's those color blindness tests where
Yeah.
it's slight variations of colors. What if someone did a presentation just to mess with people that couldn't see like fine color differentiations?
Oh, I hate those.
An entire
could
presentation
imagine.
on coloring, and it fucks with color.
And it's like really light off white on pure white, and then it's like, why can't you guys read this? It's
Snarky
right
says
there.
Daredevil approves. Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. But we're gonna look at some comics that use no forms of speech bubbles or lettering at all. And I wanted to bring this one up because I heard you talk about your book on another channel, Jason, and you specifically brought this up. There's a lot of talk of Sin City earlier, so here is Silent Night.
Oh, it's so good. Look at that
by
cover.
Frank Miller, a Sin City story. And this is very similar to yours. It's just a one-shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I
And-
said, that's kind of where I drew inspiration mine from. So.
Yeah, I wanted to scroll through this and kind of talk about the impact
that's been created by the contrast.
by the contrast. And I mean, you talk about Sin City, it's all contrast.
It's all contrast.
Literally, the art and everything. But the contrast here of getting a comic with no words in it, and like a silent film back in the day, you have to think out of the box and work with your actors. Like the actors in the book, the actors in the film are the ones that are going to convey the emotion to your reader. And I think as a writer that's not a like auteur artist writer, it's important for me to give those cues to an artist, like as if we're doing, say I'm working on a regular comic. I always like to have the dialogue into the script before I give it to an artist, or at least the idea of what I want the dialogue to be, so they know and they have an idea of the mood and facial expression of the character. I think that's important.
Well, which you could still do if you're working with somebody and you wanted to do a silent comic. You could still give, like the writer could still give them an inner monologue and be like, okay, this is what they're thinking. This is what, because an artist will then know facial expression, facial, cues and movements and gestures that they could do that you're just like, look, he's not going to say these things or think these things. You're just going to, these are your cues. And it really would help in that aspect. So
Definitely. Yeah. But even like, I mean, artists that I've worked with and artists that have been veterans in the industry, I usually ask that conversation. It comes up, what form of script do you prefer to work off of, like the Marvel method or more of a full script?
Mhm.
And 9 times out of the 10, veterans that have been working in the business for a really long time prefer something that has dialogue in it, so they know the emotion that they're going to be drawing on the page.
Yeah, I kind of a mix of both. Ink and I especially, like, we work Marvel method. I work Marvel method, but while we're laying it out, we're like, oh, it'd be cool if he says this here. But we usually end up forgetting by the time we go to do anything. So even whenever I was doing the silent book, I was thinking, it'd be cool if he thought this here in this page, and I was working on each page at a time. So that helped me to not forget things, but it still would work out that way. So yeah, I prefer the Marvel method more than anything. But the other thing with like Frank in a way also is like he's an expert graphic designer. So everything, like he knows how to play with that so lighting effects and just how to like omit shadow in a way, like or negative space. Like he knows how to use the form of something and really convey an impact without even showing an emotion. That's tough. That's really difficult to do. And he's a master. So learn from the masters.
So freaking cool. We got Dan Dahl in the chat. He says we want no words and no pictures.
Oh, I'll sell you that all day. It'll be the cheapest comic I ever printed.
What's up, Dan? Good to see you.
It's modern art comic.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. A piece of paper duct taped to a wall.
Yeah,
that was cash grab for the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The modern art comic. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at the emotion in these two characters' faces. It's so cool, striking, stark. You know,
Yeah,
all of it is mood.
it's mood and expression. And well, another, I was always a big fan of Black Bolt, just because
yeah.
like no dialogue. Like every artist had to convey everything he was ever doing with body language and facial expression. So you really had to be like a really talented illustrator to convey what he was thinking, because he couldn't say anything. I mean, yeah, every now and then they'd be like, "Oh, Black Bolt thinks this" or whatever, but usually it's just him silent and just doing stuff. So that was another key element. Even in a worded comic, you could have silence and try to convey something, and it's not the easiest thing to do. Look at that. That's so good.
Yeah, look at that huge doobie.
Yeah, sometimes
yeah.
a cigar is a really big cigar.
That's right.
And that's all it is.
Right. This lady's
all
an
it
old
is.
town.
Yeah, Old Town. But yes, like, and it's not all complete, like, blackout, like, because everybody thinks Sin City, they think the blackout areas up. Like, look at all that stark white that he's using there, and those hard shadows just to convey shape. And it gives you that atmosphere, that mood, without saying anything. Like, you could feel this scene. It's gorgeous. Like, I love stuff like this, and it's not for everybody, and I know that. It is an acquired taste sometimes, but it's just expertly executed. It's so good. I mean, mine is amateurishly executed, so hopefully it's good.
Well, listen,
But,
we're
yeah.
trying to sell your book here, and it's amazingly
Hey.
executed. It's just as good as Frank Miller. Oh, let's back this book right now.
I love my book, but I'm honest about it. I'm not a pro.
That's why we love you, Jason.
Yeah.
But this is so cool. Like, studying this silent work, you could apply it to your just regular comics that you're telling a story with dialogue and illustrations, because those things work in tandem. I think without word balloons, the art should also say something that supports your dialogue and your story. Like, every panel, you should be working towards your end goal for the story. And that's the way I think to optimize your storytelling in a book as well.
Well, yeah, it goes back to harken back to show don't tell. You don't always have to say what's going on. The character doesn't always have to say stuff. I mean, yeah, it's cool. You want to have story in a comic, but like, you can have a couple pages or a few panels that have no dialogue and still be fine. Like, you'll be okay. You just let the artist do their job sometimes.
You don't need dialogue or even sound effects to tell a story, though. Just think of it like silent films.
Right.
Not having dialogue didn't stop people from telling a story effectively.
Yeah. And my book initially wasn't going to have sound effects. Billy kind of talked me into it, and I thought I was like, okay, I could do that. Fine. But no, I initially was going to be completely silent and be like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, fine, whatever. But like, even that, like, look at, that's so good.
Yeah, great contrast.
Like, you can feel that scene. It's great. You don't need anything in there, and that's what. But also, Sin City, this one is not a complete silent comic, because he does talk at the very end. He does say something.
That's what I was wondering. Like, if you do all this, and then maybe you can at one point say one word or something, and it really punctuate it.
Jake.
And that's that contrast, and that's it.
I'm gonna go crazy.
Look at that.
That could be the new word. We've replaced my
so
I'm no longer best friends with the word ornate. Now,
but there's sound effects.
Shows me descending into insanity.
There's sound effects.
There you go. You're allowed to do it now, Jason, because
Oh,
you did it.
Frank
You're allowed.
did it, so I'm good now.
Frank did it. Permission.
I have a reprieve. Look at that. It's just so good. And the good also, you could still, like, if you don't want the PDF, you could go buy this book for like $5. Like, it's not expensive, obviously, because it just isn't. But it's a great book, and it's fun to look through. I look through it every now and then, just for
Look at that.
I don't know, like, inspiration.
Look at that. That's so cool.
It's so good. Like, just I know how much ink I went. See, there's the dialogue. I know how much ink I went through in mine. I have to know how much he went through, because it's just crazy, the blacks that he laid down. Yeah, it's about him rescuing
The
the little girl.
contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes it even better that there is dialogue in here. Like that.
Yeah,
That's part one.
yeah, it packs a little bit more of a punch. It gives it an impact. Yeah.
Speaking of not just comics that are silent, though, I mean, of course, you can tell a comic or you can tell a story without dialogue or even sound effects. But I think it's and this is something I'm trying to learn or I'm learning is useful. It's useful to know in a comic when a story will be better if there is nothing said. Even if your comic is a normal comic with dialogue and everything, sometimes just having it a moment is better if if you let the characters act, because well, realistically speaking, it's almost too on the nose if it becomes if someone says something in a certain moment. I can't really think of an example off the top of my head, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah. I totally get that. Sometimes I'll play around with that, and that's one of the reasons why I do my own lettering is so I could test the dialogue that I've had in the script, see it on the page, and then either move it, change it, get rid of it altogether. I think that's a super fun part of the process, but important too for being a storyteller, making those calls like that.
Yeah, that's why I like doing my own lettering as when I letter at the thumbnail stage, where you kind of almost don't see how the story plays out till it's on the comic page and the images are combined with the text. Or maybe it's just me, I don't really see it. So what if you just lay it out really early and letter over thumbnails, you can see how the juxtaposition works, how the dialogue flows, and does it feel believable. And here's one example in Fiendish 3. It's not spoilery. There's a scene where the characters are saying goodbye, and I had this character who was debating whether or not to like leave a location, and she was struggling with it earlier in the story, and at this moment she decided to go on this journey in the end after struggling with it. And I originally had her like go saying goodbye, like I made my decision or something, and Jake gave me a really good suggestion: just don't say anything, just have her nod to the person she was having that conversation with the day before, and that's all you needed, because that's more realistic.
It's a similar thing when we talked about in the past, where if there's an emotion the character should be feeling, but if they are like emotionless, you almost feel the feeling for them. Like you fill in the blanks with the feeling because it's like it should be there, but it isn't. Sometimes all you have to do is like the characters just make knowing eye contact, and then you fill in you kind of know what they're both saying in their heads in that moment. Like you're almost physically compelled to fill in the blank when you see two people just making knowing eye contact.
Yeah, and also, if as long as your characters aren't totally character acting says a lot, and I don't even think you need a great amount of drawing ability or whatever. It's it's shape, language, and design. Like a character nodding or a character looking in a certain direction. You don't need to have pretty drawings if you understand how people would act and express themselves and hold themselves. That's sometimes all you need. You don't need to have them saying what they feel.
Well, and also,
it's like
oh no, go ahead, Jake.
If you have like a James Bond character moving through a space, how he maneuvers through the space and how he's dealing with like obstacles and avoiding stuff or working with their gear, like that can say more about the character than like, come in, are you there? Have you reached the point yet? No, leave me alone. You know what I mean? In the earpiece.
Right. Yeah. And that also goes to like knowing the character and what they might do. Like if you're like, this person really wouldn't act this way. I have people in real life, how they behave, how they might react in a scenario or an expression, or would they say bye in that scene, or would they just like wave bye? Like what would they do? Like not everybody's gonna constantly be talking. When I'm at work, I'm almost dead silent. I'm listening to my music. Somebody will say something to me, I'll just nod, and then that's it. I don't have to really say anything. So you don't always have to talk all the time. I mean, there are moments where you need to, but in real life, especially, so if it happens in real life, it'll happen in a book where everybody has their own character and their own personality, and not everybody's going to say something all the time.
Right. Yeah. I also think or go on, Narwhal. You've been.
Well, yeah, when I lived in Portland, there were some frozen winters, and they got the city trees that their roots aren't very deep, and they'll get a bunch of snow on them, and they'll just like fall over. And there was one that fell over, and they'll hit power lines and shit. Power goes out. It's like a shit show. But there was one that fell over right next to my house, and I saw it, and I saw someone walking their dog as it fell, and it fell really close to them, and they turned and they went, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Oh man, that's funny," because they almost died, and that's what they say.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole thing of treat your dialogue as you hear it in reality. You know, if you listen to someone who has great dialogue and kind of colloquial sayings or accents throughout the country and the world, Brian Azzarello did 100 Bullets. Like, he has some awesome dialogue, and guys like him say you just go out and listen to people talk, and that's, you want real speech patterns and real talking, ideas for dialogue. Just
This
listen
is
to
my
your
favorite. That's my favorite page. The one you just
The balls
that.
down.
That
That's
one.
my favorite.
Yeah.
But Phil, it's not even just
So
listen to people talk. It's like listening to the dynamics of how people talk and how it can indicate like their relationship between each other. If someone's wittering, like if there's a woman, there's like a man and a woman at table, and she's going on and on and on, and he's like not saying anything and just like looking down at his phone or something.
body language matters.
Body language is huge. Yeah.
Stuff like that. So everything that could kind of amplify the storytelling.
They even say a lot of serial killers will target their victims by their body language and how they walk. Like if they see somebody kind of walking with their head down, shuffling their feet, they might go after that person rather than somebody who's just kind of looking around a little bit, walking upright with a little bit of a stride. That they'll be deterred from that person because they're aware. It's that body persona, that personality, the way they convey yourself, it goes a lot into what you do, and it in illustrative or in motion pictures also. So you got to think about that when you're working on a story or doing something.
Yeah, I think as storytellers, and I have a lot of friends that are illustrators. Obviously, like, we're all students of our surroundings and life. Like that, those are the things you want to put in your work so you could wrap it in your theme and your readers can relate to those things.
It also helps if you've had siblings.
Sure.
It does, like, because you do learn a lot whenever you had siblings. You because you're very different from one another usually. I even know twins that are just totally different. Like, identical twins that just their mannerisms, the way they talk, their cadence, their body language, their confidence, and that's the other thing. Like, confidence, you can see that in a person's like composure. So a lot goes into that. So, but like, it's knowing when to hold back. I know we're talking about silent, but it's nice that, like you said, the end of this book has that dialogue and it just conveys more of an impact. Like, it just hits harder. So if you have like a guy walking through a room and all of a sudden like something happens, he goes he exclamates something, it might have a little bit more of an impact at that point if he was silent the whole time. Like, it creates gravity. Whenever silence can have gravity to it, and then it can just explode, kind of like the Big Bang.
Yeah, this line of dialogue here, he says, "Your mama's been asking after you, Kimberly. Let's get you home." It's such a mundane delivery, and as if everything that he just did and everyone he just killed never happened, and probably to protect the girl from knowing any of that. And also, there's so many implications that this brings up. Oh, this probably has happened before to these two people, and gives it like a mundaneness where he's done it before, he just did it again, and he's going to get this little girl
and
bring her
the
back
great
home.
thing about it is he just did all this massive violence and murder and stuff, and that's the softest, most kindest thing. Let's get you home. Like, it's
a nice contrast
caring.
that creates impact.
Nice contrast. There you go.
Contrast that creates impact.
That's right. Everybody's gonna leave the show.
It was a good presentation.
I'm not even doing it ironically. It's true. These are the things. This is what
it is true, though. It is true. That's great storytelling right there. It's just great storytelling. Like I said, it's a juxtaposition. It's like this hardened man. This man's been through enough stuff, like, and you could tell just by all of his actions. And look at this soft little moment that he has. It's fantastic, and you don't need a whole backstory for it. You don't need to know. You could just see just in these basic 24 pages that what he went through in just this part. You don't need to know his whole backstory. You don't need to know everything that went in his past, whether or not he likes pizza. You don't. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that moment, and it just shows so much about his character. It's fantastic.
Yeah, compare how it was presented here to the opposite choice, where he's slaughtering all these people, and then he could have internal dialogue just detailing, this guy reminds me of my first kill, and this bitch reminds me of this other bitch, and I have a story from 20 years ago when I was on a pirate ship. And it's like, that's almost distracting from, you know what? Yeah. Well, besides from that, that almost, I think, would have been distracting from the gravity of the situation. Just letting the images breathe and tell the story lets you focus on the moment instead of what he's thinking of.
Yeah. And Frank Miller does that in the other Sin City books. He's like, the snow falls like butterflies on my eyes.
Yeah,
makes my eyes water.
But you know what? I like it.
Yeah. No, and that's the two types of storytelling.
He does
throughout
both.
the series.
Cool. Yeah, he does both.
He rocks it out.
Like I said, it's a master of the craft. This, to me, Sin City was him at his peak. Like, that's where he just peaked out, and then it was a little bit, kind of went a little further down after that. But yeah, it just, because he all through, like, I know we're talking about Frank Miller now, but like you got all Daredevil and everything like that. You got Wolverine, you got all that cool stuff. Like, this is where he just took everything and just threw it at the wall. It was like, let's have some fun.
There was an interesting comment. Someone said if you change the order so you don't see the girl till after he kills everyone, that could like also work. It's a little different, but that's kind of interesting that there are different ways you could do it.
Yeah, that brings up a point that my girlfriend had just read, The Hard Goodbye for the first time, which is the Marv story, and she really liked it. And she had seen the film before, and then we watched some of the film last night, and when Marv is, banging Goldie, and then they fall asleep, in the film, they show the door open, and the creepy kid, the Charlie Brown kid, they show his face. And so the implication is this is the murderer that kills Goldie. But I hadn't read it maybe like in a year or whatever, but she said that didn't happen in the book. So throughout reading the book, you think Marv could have possibly been the killer. So that was a weird decision that they made to probably take that out of your thinking during the film. Maybe. So that was a weird thing where, like, if the two paths, they went this way, and Robert Rodriguez did the other thing, it totally changes the feeling of it.
It changes the feeling of it, but it still gets the story's pretty solid,
I mean, I love the story. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, there's plenty of great examples of all the silent books and stuff out there that that's one. Like you said, the G.I. Joe one. Zach even did Knife Hand. Was it Knife Hand silent?
Was that one all silent?
I believe that one was all silent. I didn't know that. Had I known that, I would have backed it probably. But so there's a few examples of that out there. But like Irene said, it doesn't need to be a completely silent comic. It just knowing when to let a scene breathe, and just let the scene, just this panel suck you in, or the page suck you in. There's pages in Frog G where it's like him walking or doing something, and there's no words. He's just looking around, or he's going through the forest, or running through something, or fighting creatures. There's no words because you don't need them. Not everybody's gonna sit there and jabber all the time. I love that. Dude.
One thing that sometimes comics do that I like is where they can get OCD about stuff, about whatever they feel like. They don't have to care about the characters for a second. You can go 2 or 3 pages. That'd be a lot, but you could zoom in on. I think manga does it more than Western comics, but you could zoom in on shit in the background and little details of the apartment or whatever.
Right.
Wait a second. Angela wants to know if you've ever seen her walk before.
I don't think anybody's ever seen her before.
She says you know about serial killers, so she wants to know if you think she's the perfect target.
Yeah, I've never seen her walk, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, is she saying I'm a serial killer?
I think that's the implication, yeah.
Well, you have to find the bodies first.
Yeah, I just pulled up another random one because this one obviously does have narration and dialogue in it. You come in here, there's narration on the first page. It's kind of like the title page. But then the following 2 pages, almost no balloons. There's just a gasp of air here. And then again, like a silent page.
Yeah, you
Great
know,
graphic design with that.
Yeah, awesome graphical.
there can be story reasons why there's no talking. Like sometimes movies I can think do this, but like if you're on a sneaking mission, well, obviously like that's like does happen. If you can't breathe, so if you're like underwater or in outer space, or sometimes if it's shit that's really loud, so you couldn't hear anyone anyway if you tried to talk. Like if you're in a billows engine kind of room.
Skydiving.
Yeah, if you're skydiving, if a bomb goes off and your eardrums burst, and you know you could do sections silently.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Where there's cool things you can do with lettering where they're not silent, but for example, if someone's skydiving, have the speech bubbles and the text there, but have motions lines going through the speech bubbles or something, and have like the text, or if it's really loud music, have the speech bubbles and text look like they're just jumbled by waves. Like there's so many things you can do to play with that, and that makes I love that.
Speech bubbles.
That'd be cool. Like
Yeah, or stuff like that. You're
muffling the dialogue. So
right, you're visualizing the sound, and I think that's using the comics medium in a unique way.
Yeah.
We got a holy hand grenade in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. Simply Green is here as well.
Hey.
That actually reminds me of a moment in one of the Sin City stories with Dwight when he's jumping off the building and Brittany Murphy shouts at him, and then he doesn't
helicopter
know.
Kicks up too much noise. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The helicopter is muffling what she's saying. What an integral part of the plot. So we don't know it. Dwight doesn't know it.
I bet they didn't do this, but you could have the sound effect text going over the top of the speech bubbles, so you can't read them because the sound effect is like in the way of the speech bubble. Like
I'd have to find that issue.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. I don't think they do that, but that's pretty smart. That's a good way to go about it.
Look at Irene. Look, it's dinosaurs.
Those are the most horrifying looking dinosaurs I've ever seen.
They look like the derpy retard dinosaurs you saw in Florida.
They're supposed to be.
They're like stuff. It's the pits, which is the tar pits.
Yes, the tar pits.
La Brea. Did the tar pits go back to the age of dinosaurs? I don't think so.
It's a comic.
I'm pretty sure there's dinosaur bones back there.
No, it didn't. It went back to they were like mammoths and stuff, not dinosaurs.
Whoever put all these statues.
Mammoths, dinosaurs, same thing.
When they shut down the place, but I could barely see the statues. And that's not because the rain's fogging up my glasses. I can't take my eyes off the upper. The beds. Yeah, so much mood.
Hey.
And this is just pages of her. Like
I know. That's a bold decision. A whole ass one panel page.
That's so good, dude. He I love the way he does form.
They're like, so what are you doing this week, Frank? He's like, inking a girl's butt and front and back. 2 pages.
I'm gonna start doing that. Just if I need any more pages to pad out my comic, I'm just gonna have Ragnar walking and just be like full page, and she's like,
I'll back it.
What do you want?
Let's back it. Do it.
Suddenly it becomes like Sin City in the narration. Like my eyes go to nothing.
It's kind of cool to do that. It is actually kind of cool to do that sometimes because it does create contrast in the flow of having more dense pages than literally like big a couple of splash pages where it's like not a punch or like something, a huge moment. It's like a quiet moment that you're holding on with like a big splash panel page.
Well, that's how awesome it is to make comics is you're playing with time and you're controlling the pacing of how a story is unfolding, and something like that definitely will expand that time from page to page. whether it's
And
a big shot or
speaking
panel.
of time, Matt
it
Burke
time?
just sent me. Yeah, he sent me the link, so
It's about
I gotta
that
head on
time.
over.
Oh, you don't need
Yeah.
to
Don't let him
go. This
Don't
is
let him
the
leave.
more important show.
Yeah,
that
you
I
can't leave.
promised Metal Movies and
All
Brewskis.
night.
I set that up a while ago, and Matt Burke's a solid dude. He's a good guy. He's
Yes,
great.
Matt Burke's awesome.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for coming on, Jason.
No, dude, thanks for inviting me, man. I really appreciate it. Fun.
Of course, everybody go check this book out if you love the stuff we were looking at and all the pages we showed of the absolute.
Yeah.
Definitely check this
64.
out.
Sorry, just real quick. 64 is a little low. Do you guys remember the buy one back one hashtag? I like that hashtag. I kind of want to bring it back.
Bring it back.
This is one kind of that is like that. It's like, yeah, if you were gonna get a big book, get this too. Like get
Nice,
2
man.
books.
Let's get this to 69 tonight. It's only 5 more
Yeah.
backers. We can do this now.
If
If it
Yeah.
gets to 69, I win.
We already got 65 backers and
Thank you,
amazing
everybody.
price points. You can get both covers, the awesome
Mhm.
Jason cover and the amazing Shelby Robertson cover.
Oh,
14
Shelby,
bucks.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, Shelby
So
killed
go
it.
grab
And let
it.
me just add real quick before I go, Australian backers, please don't have it signed, by the way, but because hockey is going to have them printed and shipped in Australia.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
why the shipping in Australia is the same as it is in US, because hockey's going to be doing the printing and shipping. So Australian backers can get it at a very affordable rate. So yeah,
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shout outs to
Yeah,
hockey.
yeah. All right.
hockey's dope, man. Everybody's going to be very thrilled to see his book. He's killing it in the art department. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thanks for
So,
coming on, Jason.
Dude, thanks for inviting me.
Filling us out.
Narwhal, Jake, what's your name? Irene.
Yeah. I don't know. Why are you? Who are you? Why are
What?
you here?
What? All right. Thanks for having me, everybody. Hail the chat. Thank you guys so much. And stay here and watch this glorious content. I'll check you out later.
Yeah,
How do I get out of
Bye.
here?
Thanks for being here.
Get out.
Fuck, now we have to talk. Those
know.
black and white no text
So
pages
much
are so fucking mesmerizing. I can't think whilst looking at them
Well,
because they do create a gravity. They suck you in.
Yeah, I'd
I
say
totally wasn't drawing the whole time.
there's a good contrast
Totally wasn't 3D modeling the whole time.
on those pages.
I do have something to show. If you're so I have some pages from Arzac, and I think we can show a different kind
Narzak?
of Arzac. However the
Yeah.
fuck you say it, the Mobius comic.
Hold up.
Oh shuck. I had to censor it to make sure there weren't any boobs or dicks because this is Mobius. So let me double check. I've been like working hard to censor it this whole time. Actually, there's some man butt. Is that okay? It's like in
Yeah.
shadow. Yeah,
There's some
I
man
censored
butt
out the
on
tits
TV
though.
now.
it's more than okay.
In fact,
Okay.
In fact,
Well, you know,
Please
we already
continue.
know this show is copiously gay, so no judgment. How do we
you
fucking
get a lot gayer, I guess.
just share it.
let's go? I'm trying to stream ours.
But on the contrary to silent comics, you have everybody's like, oh, putting too much bubbles and stuff. If you look at X-Men, like the most famous X-Men run, like the Claremont stuff, it's all balloons. It's all dialogue and narrated all the time, and people love that stuff. So
Well,
it's-
that's
it's-
interesting.
it's
I was
really
I was
good.
gonna I was going to bring up when do you know it's a skill to know when to leave a comic silent and when things need to be said, right? And that's something I found very interesting with getting feedback from multiple people, which I try to do for all my scripts, because I think that it's like you can create a plot as a creator, but you don't really, because it's all you, sometimes you don't understand how what you're presenting on the page comes across to other people. So I like getting feedback from a lot of other people, and everyone tends to I think it's like everyone has different preferences, but sometimes everyone will agree, well, this doesn't need to be said, or I need more explanation on something, and those moments are very useful.
Yeah.
And it's a skill as a creator. I'm sure a master like Frank would be able to just know that. I don't think he would. It's probably built from experience as well as just having good instincts for storytelling, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you're going to put a lot of words on a page, you really have to pace it out and kind of hide it in there, if that makes sense. So like after a big action scene, big shots that are kind of giving your reader brain activity to ingest and that spectacle, and then also you maybe follow that up with more of a wordy scene, because you need those lulls to reach the highs. We've talked about the peaks and valleys and stuff in storytelling.
Yep,
Is
definitely.
is that the name of the book or the location, the Ozak at the top?
That's the name of the whole book. It's like a 64-ish page. Yeah, it's like 60-something pages, totally silent. But it's so I love Mobius, and if you guys don't know Mobius, John Giraud, he has this. The style. It's very indicative. And with fun fact, Miyazaki's manga style, which Miyazaki drew manga, and if you look at the Nausicaa manga, the rendering and the bird, or she has this like glider, right? That glider is a reference to Arsak, because Miyazaki was a Mobius fan, and the way he rendered Nausicaa, the manga, was just like this, all this hatching. So I love seeing these cross influences. But Mobius is he's a master artist. He worked in both European and American comics, but he's also like very European, and what I mean is like tons of work that's just dicks and tits everywhere, which includes this, but I have censored what I could. The first story doesn't have that many boobs. So when we were thinking about silent comics, I actually realized I couldn't think of that many examples, but this was the first one I thought of. So here's like the first part.
Yeah, I remember this guy on his weird bird
thing. Peeping Tom.
Very trippy. So I was told, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but apparently Mobius, he's always, he was always a good artist, but he went on like a whole fucking bender to Mexico, did a bunch of drugs, and then he came back and started drawing all these really psychedelic stuff. And he's kind of known for, he has work that is very grounded. He drew Blueberry, and I think he did did he do Silver Surfer? He did some just like more grounded comic work, but his independent stuff is all like this, like just psychedelic and trippy, and it looks like a dreamscape. That's how his work looks, and his single illustrations also look like he was basically tripping on DMT and drawing it the whole time. So this is a really short 10-page or so story where it's just this guy on a bird, which is the whole thing with Arsak. It's just a guy on a bird flying around, adventuring in this dreamscape. And he in the previous page, you saw this, like, he's peeping through this window, saw this hot chick. He's like, ooh, I want her. And he's this guy on the tower where the chick is, right? And the visual storytelling is so good because you know what's going on. You don't need dialogue. And then he just like ropes this guy and flies off because he's like, I want the chick, get out of my way. And then he just dangles him off of this skeleton thing and it's so interesting to look at because it is that's something that.
Can you go back a page?
Oh yeah, sure. There's Manbot. Look at that rock though, how that rock in panel 1 frames that guy, and it adds tension because it looks like he's about to slam him into it, but actually he's flying over it because you see on the top of the rock are all the little green naked men. Yeah. So that's all that tension and the storytelling is really great. And then here he just hangs the guy on this skeleton. And I think here, this is something that I love learning from Mobius's work, where he's very active with his environment design. There's nothing that's expected. Even this giant skeleton, you never know what's going to happen next. And even you tell an artist that to draw a giant skeleton, he pushes it to the next step where this isn't even a recognizable animal. He's always being inventive, if you know what I mean. This is like some kind of weird creature. Everything is always visually interesting. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So he just hangs this guy there and then flies back to that tower. And he's like, that chick's mine. I claim her. And then he turns her around and she's like this dog monster thing. He's like, never mind. Fuck
God, no.
And then he just like leaves, and that's the end of the first story. So it's like 64 pages of this stuff, and it's like weird but awesome and really memorable.
I hate when that happens.
There's something awesome going on with these pages. Go back to the beginning. Yeah, there's some on 8 pages. That's on 8 because of him in the middle.
I hate everything.
It is on 8. There's another on 8 page, but okay. if you go through them slowly, basically with silent comics, if I was to ever, I always worry that you're gonna get through. That's on an ornate page. You're gonna get through them too quickly, because there's no text. It's like, how are you gonna control the flow of time? Because text can do that, right? Because it takes longer to read. But
Right.
there's a fucking another layer of genius to these, which is how it's actually managing time. And like, if you go back to the one where he's about to slam into the rock, where you're like, okay, which way is the character moving on the first panel? It's moving off to the left, right? And he's about to swing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like he's going to swing down to the left. So you're kind of, but then the panel goes to the right, and like the motion is like the opposite way to what you would expect. Imagine these pages were different, and the first panel was kind of flipped, so the motion bled from one into the other more fluidly.
Right.
The page would have read quicker. Like, he's doing this on all the pages. Like, if you go to the next one, like, okay, look, he's already past the middle of the page in the first panel, right? You would expect, if you're thinking animation brain, you would do 3 panels where he's like moving through and it has like a line. But like, when you're looking at the next time he's on the page in panel 2, like, you've gone backwards, and then like you're not even that far forwards again.
He's slowing down time with his design very deliberately.
All of these shot choices are managing to do a silent comic and managing time very well.
No, good point.
You know, one thing with the time control too is really tall panels and really wide panels help with that, because they kind of force your eye to read it like a strip, and that will slow you down.
Yeah, it's this concept where vertical panels, because when we see vertical images versus horizontal, wider than they're tall or taller than they're wide, there's a different psychological reaction to it, because we instinctively view things that are more vertical as more energetic, and things that are horizontal as if they're lying down as less energetic. So if you want a scene to have more tension or more motion, use vertical panels. And if they're really long, that creates a sense of tension but time. And if they're really long horizontal panels, like here, they're more relaxed, and it's almost a different I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's a different way of extending time. Like, you can both of these pages feel like there's time passing. This isn't happening quickly. There's no rush, because of exactly what Jake said, with specifically where the characters are placed in relation to the rest of the image. But feels like there's more tension here, but there's less tension here. This is like, you want to just slow down and relax on that last big horizontal panel, right? Everything is lying down, where at the end, and you get that just from the visuals.
The size of scale is so awesome. Like, I always love huge macro shots, really cool. And this stuff, pretty sure it was in Heavy Metal at some point, right? Is that where they're publishing it? What's up, He's a Monster in the chat? Talking about Heavy Metal.
I think this was in Heavy Metal, I think.
The time flow is also being aided by how still everything feels in every page. Like, you've got this thing flying through, and it's not like there's no motion lines. Do you know what I mean? There like isn't swooping everywhere. Everything feels still in every shot.
Yeah, and I mean, besides the other characters, like the man on the rock, there's no other seemingly living entities that are moving around and a lot in this, so even the whole world just kind of seems still, which is really cool. His texture is amazing.
I just love his work.
I love the ending,
mood of it. The ending of this.
Hate when that happens.
It's everyone's been there, huh? That's when the beer goggles come off. Look at his expression too. He's like,
yep, I'll be going.
But yeah, I thought, so here's a different way of drawing silent comics, or using pure visual storytelling.
Yeah, also a lot of stark contrast in the color palette too.
Which is super cool.
Trippy as fuck. So this is why you should go to Mexico and do a bunch of mushrooms, because you'll just be a master storyteller.
Yeah, it just so happens automatically to everyone who takes a lot of drugs. Ozzy Osbourne is like a master artist. He's drawing so many comic pages. He'll release them one day.
Yeah, thanks for that. Bringing that up, Irene.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I have censored. The other chapters aren't. There's like, it's cool though. It's a really quick read, but it's one of those. I think because Mobius's work is so captivating, there's no text, so it's a quick read. But when I read this book, I want to go back again and again. Just like, so I go through once to get a feel for the story, then I want to go through again to just look at the textures and details and enjoy it. But yeah, check this out.
Yeah, everybody check that. I'm gonna have to check that out. No, this is Mobius.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish it feels like if you have a magazine full of this stuff or a book full of stuff, you wish it would come with like a cassette tape in the back of music to play whilst reading it though. Like it would be
psychedelic music.
Like just listening to certain types of music to a silent comic, like that's a fucking vibe.
I just realized I kind of wanted to do this, and I mentioned that I'm getting someone to do music for Fiendish because I love music even though I have no musical talent. And wouldn't that be cool to do with a silent comic, especially where it's, imagine reading this, but it's a soundtrack customized for it, and it's just a really long thing. You can just enjoy the whole mood of it.
I'm just imagining when South Park did the heavy metal parody, the music that kicks in when Kenny's in the car in space. I'm just imagining that in my head whilst looking at this. So
there you go. Heavy metal cover. Oh, Mobius. Pretty sure you can get it on Amazon. Yeah, that's the cover.
That's cool. I like that. Heavy metal. I wanted to look at probably something that a lot of people, if you guys are comic readers in the audience, I'm guessing there's some people that read G.I. Joe back in the day. And I always heard of there being this famous G.I. Joe silent issue. I don't know if there was more than one. For some reason, I thought this issue was like Snake Eyes in the Snow. Or is that not a silent issue?
That's Snow Job. Is the G.I. Joe.
Oh, what?
Snow. His name is Snow Job. Seriously.
That's a terrible name.
That is a great name. That's a great name.
Is this true?
Now I want a radioactive character called Glow Job.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds cool. So, are there any G.I. Joe fans in the chat? Let's see. Cam says, "Oh my God, how did you not know about this?" No, I knew about this, but I had always, for some reason, thought it was like a snow because I didn't read G.I. Joe. I was born in 1993, and yeah, so this predates me. This is issue 21. But is there another issue where it's just like Snake Eyes in the snow with his dog, or maybe that's the first appearance of his dog? I don't know. I always just assumed it was in the snow and only Snake Eyes. And then I flipped through this today. But yeah, let's take a look at this. I'm sure you guys, none of you have read this. I have also not read this. So it's the most unusual G.I. Joe story ever told.
Gotta buy that.
Talk about a subtitle there. It's called Silent Interlude. Look, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee's evil twin, I guess.
Stan the Man Lee.
Stam.
Yeah, never read this.
It's story and breakdowns by Larry Hama, the infamous G.I. Joe writer. I wonder if this is a silent issue. I wonder if this was like, what do they call them? When they have storage issues? You guys know what I'm talking about? Where back in the day, they used to have artists come in and just do like fill-ins and then put them in storage until someone was like sick on a book and they couldn't make their deadline, and then they'd take that issue and throw it into solicitation. Fill-ins? No, fill-ins when you fill in with someone. There's a term for it, but
rainy day.
Yeah, it's like that where people would. I'm sure there's issues out there that have never even been published. Been issues, I think. There's something out there. I wonder if this was one of those where it's like, oh, let's just do the silent thing, or I'm not sure if they built up to this or something like that. But it is totally.
Cam says it was important.
This was an important.
I just watched the show. This was G.I. Joe was like my childhood, but I just played with the toys and watched the show. I didn't read the books.
Yeah, I watched the show, movie, stuff like that. Look at we got Storm Shadow.
Trains.
But this is interesting because I feel like you could totally put stuff like words to this. It almost seems to me like they just forgot to put the balloons. I don't know. We'll look through this. You guys let me know. You got Cobra. You got Mary Jane Watson there, aka Scarlet. I think that's her name, Scarlet. Cobra. And here comes old Snake Eyes. And this is what you're talking about, this skydiving. The sound is so loud you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's happening.
I should write the story to this on the fly.
Yeah, you got to fill in. You got to think what the words are.
You could do like Frank Miller style. Like she was a red broad, never seen anything like it.
We should, for some reason, this, and I didn't really feel compulsed with the other comics. Like, ooh, I want to voice what they're saying, but I almost feel like I should act out. Like, let's make up the dialogue right now.
This is very sexual, though.
He's like, I'll save you now. No, you don't.
Oh, feisty round eye.
Touch me like that, and I'll show you.
He's gonna kill her, but then stops.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Why does he just
run away now?
I'll kill you. Never mind.
I'll deal with you later. Shing. Yeah. Ninja disappear. It's dark.
Oh, look, here's Destro.
Yes, my new computer's come. I've installed the software. It's beautiful, yeah.
Very high-end DOS computers.
He's like, damn it, they used the font that's hard to read again. I've told them to not do that.
This whole 100 megabytes on this computer is amazing.
I have a Lord of the Rings text adventure installed. Then we sit down and have a nice session for the next few hours.
Snake Eyes is like, still falling. Still falling.
Fold.
Filled with
nailed it.
Now.
Lindsay says nailed it.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Oh, Snarky is leaving. Good night, Snarky. Thanks for joining.
See, bro. But this is the thing. Snake Eyes, that's his whole thing, right? He doesn't talk at all, ever. He's like Black Bolt.
He's sworn to silence.
Yeah.
Oh, is he the guy with the metal head?
No, he's just a ninja. He's a white.
Oh, that's
boy.
that guy. Sorry.
He's a white boy ninja. And just like MacGyver, she always has a bobby pin on her so she could pick her handcuffs.
Wait a minute. Where is it? Aha, yes. My trusty always have it every single time. Did never fell out ever bobby pin.
She's like, oh, it tastes gross.
Well, they don't really fall out.
But do they taste
what
gross?
You're up to?
I don't know. I don't like eat my bobby pin.
I don't know.
Probably does.
Here we go. Destro playing some chess here. I like that.
Nice.
I can't remember the voice of it. Yes, I've turned all my enemies into chess pieces. This will help me strategize my future battles.
Your Baroness is
my favorite.
Sexy there.
He's like, I'm gonna go back and slice that girl. I should have done it last time. Oh.
Yeah, what was this? So he's gonna kill her. He jumps up to do God knows
what. Give her a
and then
second to escape.
Comes back down.
No, he says, fine, if you do not want to be saved, you stay here forever. And he tries to close the door. She's like, no, that's it. I'm coming out.
That was very confusing. Like, why did he just jump out and leave when she was handcuffed?
She was being a bitch.
He just goes, ninja, disappear.
Yeah.
Oh.
I leave now.
I understand this is later, Cam.
Wouldn't that page, I mean, I'm still stuck on the why didn't he, because she bit him and he's just like, bye. I was very confused.
So scroll up to the bottom, we'll see, because it cuts back to later, and then he's gonna come back down. He's just checking on her, I guess. He's like, whatever, I'm gonna check on her again. Maybe she won't bite me this time.
And then
I
bites her.
feel
Maybe he's like, nobody makes me bleed my own blood, so he had to go wash his hands first.
Yeah.
it's so he's pulling. Look at the bottom row. He pulls out the sword, then he puts it back. So it's almost like he wants to kill her, and then he decides not to.
Right.
I think it would have. I don't know. It feels like it would have been better if he was like, is just like smacks her and leaves. Like, yeah, fuck you too, and I'll be back later. It's
like Cobra Commander is gonna hear about this. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And there he goes.
He's like, I
Tell
can't be
Daddy.
around you when I'm this angry. Ah! He jumps.
He changed to his indoor gi. Is that true? Oh yeah, he has a different costume now.
Nice.
He's like, wait, he left to change clothes. He's like, wait, I need to get in my ass whooping shirt.
Yeah. I'll be back, and you won't like it when I come back.
My ass whooping tank.
I wonder how Scarlett's doing. That's the dialogue in panel 1 here.
You look sexy while kicking your ass.
Has she calmed down yet?
I like this panel though.
She's less calmed down than ever.
Cool gesture. Good gesture in this panel.
Yeah.
Emotion.
They're like, it's a black guy. Wait, do we shoot him or not? Which kind of black? It's just a guy who's all black. I didn't mean, okay, I guess we can shoot him.
Nice.
Wait, no, he's already killed us.
Alice BRB says he went for a shower. He's actually Phil. He went for a shower.
Yeah.
You missed the
I
best.
had a shower last night.
Destro's like, these fools dare to interrupt my chess game.
Yeah. My goons have failed again. I was really getting into playing Lord of the Rings.
But see, this is weird because this comic, there's obviously dialogue happening in the comic, in the world. We just don't know it. We just can't hear any of it for whatever reason. See, Destro's talking to his men. This Cobra guy is like, he went this way, obviously to Destro. And then that was in disguise Snake Eyes. Well, I guess he didn't speak. He just pointed. But that's in disguise Snake Eyes. So like there's dialogue happening. We just don't know about it.
If I was a kid, I would think that was badass. Be like, no way, Snake Eyes is a badass.
Yeah, he's taking he's like the hitman. Takes their identity. He's doing his Naruto hands, which you know what that means.
That's like, we thumb wrestle soon.
Hey, did Naruto just rip off G.I. Joe?
No.
The hand thing?
No. The Naruto thing is a whole like Asian Shinto spiritual thing. Because I know people that have done the whole hand signal thing. It's a whole ghost thing.
I'm reading the chat. What are you guys saying? Ass whooping tank top. K Plan's here. Cam's calling Storm Shadow a wife beater, I think.
Maybe if Jason was still here, he could have told us what the hand signals mean because he's deaf, right?
Yeah, he's speaks sign language.
Guys, it's Asian sign language. That's what the Naruto hand signals.
Bum. I'm reading the chat, guys.
Asian sign language is like this. Here is the church. Here is the steeple. Open the door, and then something about the people.
See all the people.
But it's just the.
You diddle the people
in the church.
All right, we got big. Now this is like a RoboCop 3-esque jetpack. You guys ever seen that movie? She knocks him out with his chain.
I'm unchained. Get it? And now I'm gonna take you.
Oh shit!
Glider.
Ninja.
She isn't in the hole anymore. I expected her to be here, but she's just not here.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Iron Body Ninja. This is the expansion of the initial ninja mythology with Snake Eyes first showed up in issue 10. So Snake Eyes is only about 10 issues old at this point. So this is why he was probably a hit.
Yeah, he was my favorite when I was a kid. There's like multiple designs of him too.
I liked Gung Ho and Beachhead. That Beachhead was cool. It's got the green mask.
Oh, I found it. I knew it. Because I knew somebody that would do these hand symbols. So the Naruto hand symbols are from Kuji-in, which in Chinese is Jiuzi-in, and it's from this Taoist tradition where all these 9 hand symbols have spiritual meanings.
Can you do them all for us?
No. So I don't want to.
You do this one. Here's the first one. Here's the second one.
I should have been like, no.
Oh my
What
god.
the fuck is that?
That's
how you
like
do it.
elementary
This is
school
the
shit.
first one.
No.
Got your nose.
Just kidding. No, they look like all these Naruto. I don't want to do it because I might fuck it
That's
up.
why
but
Connell
yeah,
has no nose. A wizard one day said, "Got your nose," and then didn't give it him back. Yes, the overall story arc is
That
to
is
get his
good.
nose back from that one wizard.
That's the main plot of the story.
Hmm.
Oh, look, he's going to
It'll
throw
happen
his
right
sword
at
like
the
a
end because Jake
spear.
won't hold our noses till the end.
There is a drawing of Connell with a nose. It actually looks really good.
Here's the ticking time bomb. She gets on the jetpack and she's trying to save Snake Eyes, who's being attacked by Storm Shadow, and she gets in the middle of the sword that he throws like a spear.
Oh, you know where that's going.
Oh no! Look, she's happy. She's kind of happy about it. Oh, he caught it. Look at that. It's coming after her, and then he catches it around her like
Nice.
this, blade first, and she's
Yeah, that's
happy.
cool.
And then he
If
throws.
I
it
was
up
a
on
kid,
the-
I would think that was badass.
Would
Hmm.
you?
that is pretty badass.
I mean,
That's what this. I feel like I've seen this in manga before, though. Look at how happy she is. She's like, yeah,
Yeah, choke me some
I'm
more.
going with
I love.
I'm going with this guy tonight.
oh, look at this though. This is actually a big
The whole catching the
reveal.
sword thing, I've seen
This is
that.
a big reveal because if Snake Eyes is this new, we see on Snake Eyes' arm he has the ninja tattoo ripped under his arm.
Oh, look at that. That's amazing.
And then
Interesting.
Storm Shadow has the same tattoo. Now that is
Yeah.
a connection.
That's awesome.
Mind blown. I've seen the hand catching sword thing in what is it? That was just, I thought you were doing like a weird hand sign in like anime and
Yeah.
in Japanese movies where they just catch a sword and it's like, oh, the swordsman is barehanded, he must be defenseless, and but then he just like catches someone's sword and shit.
I want to see someone have a fist fight with a guy who has a sword, but he just keeps punching the side of the sword. Like he expertly is constantly like boof, 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 boof with the knocking
that
it
would
away.
be cool.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
I'm
And then he
sure-
pulls the sword back and it's all bent up with like punch marks in it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
Yeah.
bad. That's like over the top anime and manga stuff. But no, Chris Farley caught a knife in between his fingers in Beverly Hills Ninja.
Mm.
He said, "So sorry." Maybe he caught it like this, a throwing knife. Everybody should watch that. It's a good
Impressive.
movie. And that's it. That was the comic, guys.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I
that was
like
cool.
these textless comics. Very easy on the brain. Not a lot of reading to have to do. Just
I'm
get
gonna
delivered pretty quickly.
say this one was underwhelming. I'm gonna say it was
Less impactful?
underwhelming and
Well-
overhyped by men in their 40s. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. Snake Eyes didn't do as much as I thought he would do. He landed, pretended to be dead, and then almost got killed, and then saved Scarlet. I think it's about that.
The tattoo reveal was cool though.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
that was awesome.
And yeah, I'm glad they did that. That kind of was the endpoint reveal thing, which obviously they did on purpose to kind of put those two characters together and give them a backstory. But yeah, I always thought this was like this one of a kind GI Joe thing. For some reason, I thought it was in the snow. I feel like that would have been cool
Now I want to do a silent comic.
in the
They
snow.
just forgot to letter it, and
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the letterist died or got sick that week, and they're like, "We have this issue. We got to put it out. What do we get? We got to hire another letterist.
Can you
Larry, what do
imagine
we
it?
do? Just put it out."
Do a silent
Yeah.
comic and then have a competition for people to letter it, and the
Uh-huh.
best story someone makes up, the best lettering wins.
That sounds
Yeah.
like some 90s comic stuff. Like in the 90s, Image had these contests where it's like, create a character, submit it to us, and we'll put it in a comic. And then the fine print was every character submitted is property of Image Comics.
Yeah.
And they just have all these some people are like, didn't I create that when I was 12 years old?
Irene,
Dale A says
what kind of beats?
Larry Hama ran out of time and did it in a week because he had to. That's good lore.
I mean, that makes sense then.
It is badass considering that. You know, there's an example in movies like slightly more obscure. It's just speaking of like set pieces, but it's The Dirty Dozen. Have you guys heard of this movie or seen it? It's a famous movie.
Anyone
Yes.
heard of The Dirty
Yeah, of
Dozen
course.
before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Dirty Dozen is what the Suicide Squad basically is.
Yeah, so it's a World War II suicide mission, and there's 12 of them, and they're all like on death row or whatever, and get recruited and sent on the mission. One of the guys is an actual psychopath, and they argue about whether or not to take him on the mission, and they're like, "No, we could use him." So then the mission starts, and it's like the last hour of the 3-hour movie, and it's awesome. But it's cool. They do it because they have to be silent because they're sneaking around. So it's all silent. But the first thing that happens is the psychopath gets distracted by a woman because they're infiltrating a party. And I think he just like murders her. Then he sees another woman and he's going to murder her. And then the other guy who's on the team sees him kind of going off mission and just becoming a serial killer in the middle of their mission. And they exchange a look and then they fight to the death. And like all that happens with no dialogue. It's like it's really awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a famous movie. That's like my dad loves that movie.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yes.
And it's
Great
holds up.
name.
It's good.
It's all right, Irene. I noticed you holding up your own comic that was a silent comic. And
No, what was that? Was that like a bread?
Oh no, it's fine. I didn't. You
What
guys
is
are
it,
having a
bread?
discussion.
It's like a
No.
bread thing?
No, it's
Beads.
beads. Right.
No
What-
R.
what-
Beads?
What kind
I
of
was gonna-
beads?
Breads.
No, let you guys
Breaking
finish
breads.
your discussion. Yeah, this
What is it?
It's a silent comic I did in like 2015, 2016.
Oh.
And this was it was kind of, I needed a portfolio or more sequential pieces in my portfolio because basically I had a bunch of old college work and I had worked in animation for a few years after college. So I'm like, I don't have a new sequential work. So, and I'd stopped working on my webcomic that I totally got jaded off of. So I did this, which is a 25-page silent comic to send around to publishers and try to get work. And the idea was, well, I want to show that I can tell a story visually. And also I wanted to have something to self-publish and bring to cons. And I kind of regret doing this, but whatever. It like flips like this. And I like the horizontal look because for a while I was doing horizontal comics. I was really into fucking horizontal comics. But I wish I had it flip this way, like bound on this side, because this is kind of awkward.
I did two horizontal self-published comics, and they did open width ways, so they were super long when they opened.
When I printed Shaman Child, I did flip it this way, but this time I was like, oh, it won't let me print it this way just to see, because I was experimenting, and it ended up being like, it was kind of awkward, but I don't know, I was experimenting and seeing what I can do. I was like, I'm gonna think outside the box. But the story is it's two souls, I guess, living through different lives, and one of them has a mole on their cheek, or two moles, and the other one has his birthmark. And it's like kind of a sad story because I'm an eternal emo, where they live through different lives and they're lovers, but every life something stops them from being together. So like this one is tragic, and then they're flooded. There's a flood, and then the girl gets swept away, and it's super sad. And then every 5 pages is another lifetime and another location throughout time and history. So this is like ancient China, and then this is India, and then there's another one. What was that? There's another one where they're in, and then the guy goes to war in this one, and he kind of goes crazy. And then there's another one that's set in the French Revolution, and there's one that's set during World War II. And finally, at the end of the story, they end up, those two souls are reincarnated in Taiwan, and they end up being able to be together. So it's super sappy and girly, I know, but it was an idea. So there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun to play around with.
All they had to do was die 4 times. And then
Yeah, exactly.
This is just my little one. It's when we went on a trip to Berlin, so I did a little stupid comic of like the trip to Berlin.
Did you draw yourself?
Yeah, I drew it.
No. Did you draw yourself?
Oh yeah, look, this is like loads of me's on a bus. Very, very self-flagellating.
Which one's you?
Well, I didn't always have long hair, Phil.
Oh, the one on the back looks more like you.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, look, it opens.
It's like a little tiny baby thing. It's so cute.
Yeah,
it's like a comic strip, but you printed it kind of lengthwise.
You printed it stupid.
Like
but yeah, it goes like this.
That's
Singing that's some karaoke. Yeah, it was fun. I only went and grabbed it because of the sideways thing.
Short hair? Weird.
I'm gonna do.
I know it's weird. There's me in an art museum grabbing some boobs.
Nice.
I'm covering up. Yeah.
Nice.
People are saying needs more gout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
The
should have
gout
been
was
like
to
a
come.
gout.
It was
My
the
gout
foreshadowing
was-
of the gout. These were the pre-gout years.
I didn't have gout back then.
The good old days.
I think I got gout. This was like when I was probably like 20. And I had gout like 25. But yeah, that's it. You can take me off. I have nothing else to really show about it. That's it.
Well, I have something, and it's a super chat from Caleb Reynolds for $2. $2.
Oh shit! Wait, is this bonk or $2?
Bonk!
That's
Well, we
bonk.
always
This is
bonk.
$2. Now that's money.
There you go. He says, Phil, do the thing. Here you go.
Bonk!
At least it was a fluffy doggo and it was short.
There you go. Thank you, Caleb. You're the man. Appreciate it. There's one more thing I wanted to look at before we, I guess, get off the topic or whatever. But this is an awesome book that I got recently by our good buddy Nick Patera, Axe Wielder John.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys were able to get your hands on this, but the panels in here and the storytelling, there's panels with no dialogue or narration at all, just total awesome action in here too. But it does have a narrative element to it, like a narrator that is telling a story, and it weaves in and out of that kind of that style. But as you could see, there's definitely panels that are just expression and just emotion and beats. It's really interesting because the way he paces it out is every page, besides like splash pages and double page spreads, is 3 panels. It's always 3 panels. And the way Nick drew this was each panel is a horizontal 11 by 17. Like he draws them huge, like every panel is a page basically, and then he puts them together. But like here, you have John here looking at this crazy dinosaur monster, and the dinosaur lizard man has been something's caught his attention, and then on the next page it's just his head is split, and no dialogue, no narration. There's a sound effect, and a lot of this is mood, and he is able to do really, really cool world building with the mood that he puts on the page. Even here, like one balloon, a panel, a lot of maybe one narrative box, narration box, and then just crazy action. But in this style, the way he does this, the way he paces it out, and tells the story. There's so much heart in this, so much cool action and world building with the subtlety that he puts into each panel, stuff like that. But yeah, it kind of it has a feel of like that Gingy Tartakovsky primal animation, because there are moments where it's just battle. It's like no dialogue, and this might be one of the only words that Axe Wielder John even says in this book. So it's really cool. He lets kind of the world around him tell you about the character and these legends of the character. And I've heard a interview with Nick and him talking about how like one of his favorite movies is Unforgiven, and the main character in Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood's character, you only know about that character from other people talking about him, and these tall tales and these legends of how crazy and ruthless and of a murderer that this guy was. And he really framed John in that light in this book as well. So there's the balance of knowing when to use words to tell things, and then just letting the imagery fill your mind with all the possibilities of a story. And it's a great balance in this too. So everybody should definitely check that out.
Cool. Did I back that? Damn it, I don't think I did. Oh, I'm the worst.
It'll
Tara, let me buy one.
Fuck. I was talking. I had my mic.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some.
Speaking of the imagination that the visuals give you, like his nose is missing. His nose isn't cut in half. It's like a big chunk. It's not like he had a cut in his face. There's a big chunk ripped out of it. So It's like, does someone still have that part of him? Like, did someone rip it out and then like put a spell on it to turn it into a separate living character? Like there's a nose flesh lump, and like could he end up getting like some like magical golden replacement nose segment to like put in the gap at some point that could give him a ability? Those are the things that it makes me think when I see that massive gap in his head.
Yeah, it's really cool. You don't get the origins of that in this book yet, but there's definitely a really cool reason. And this is his big bad character, Lord Fang. It's freaking crazy.
Big muscly characters with no noses. It's the future.
Yeah, that's
nice. The no nose crew knows.
Those who know.
The new trend. It's the hot new cross-shaped scar is no nose characters.
We all gotta add one.
X scar.
Yeah.
Can you throw up mine real fast?
Yeah.
In Hotel Story, the mirror world, you can't breathe in there. So there's one sequence in particular where and we do this like gimmick here where you see their air. But
nice, like Tomb Raider.
That wasn't that. Oh, that's new.
Yeah, so they can't talk this whole time, and they're like trying to deal with it. And then they go to the mirror that they're going to get out of, and there's people there, so they can't go that way. They're like running out of air. They found out there's a mirror on the lower floor, so they hop down. And then they're like almost out of air now. And then he sees the straws. There's still people there, but then they use the straws.
I'm glad you recolored them. I'm glad you made them straw striped because they were just red before. And I was like, are they just grabbing beef jerky for some reason?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously a straw.
Yeah, they replenish their air. And then some more stuff happens. But yeah, that's like a silent scene for a storytelling reason, I guess, because they can't breathe.
Holy hand grenade says, keep spoiling it, please.
Spoil it more.
You got to read to find out what happens next.
Just keep scrolling. It's great. We're totally off air.
Status says, gotta fly. This was a good listen. Here's to another night with funny book. Good night. See you, Stat.
Good night. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Murphy's in the chat says talking about Axe Wielder. He says Bedrock City Comics has copies for sale. Sweet.
Where's that? I'll find it. I guess it must be around here.
I'm not sure.
Moromi's in Atlanta, so.
Bedrock. Oh, is he? Awesome. Yeah, layer stat. I guess that's it. I mean, we talked a little bit about silent books. How to use it in contrast. Like what I'm interested in is picking those panels and that the moments to keep silent.
Never mind.
You know, where a lot of people talk about in horror leaving your imagination to fill in the blanks in between the gutters. And I think like using silence is just another tool to grab out of your toolbox when you're telling stories, which I love. So play around with it. Have fun.
Yeah, I like this was a cool discussion. I think you know, we've done a lot of shows about technique and storytelling. I think I'd like to talk more about stuff like this where it's comic specific. Remember how we did an early show on paneling? Now we're talking about silent comics. I think a show on lettering techniques or another show on paneling, I think we can explore that further. And then we should do one on action scenes as well. Some more comic focused stuff would be really
Shot
cool.
choice.
Yeah, action would be an awesome one.
And yeah, you can. Well, there's a lot of crossover between comics and film, but also there's a difference, and we can talk about that as well.
Yeah, all that stuff would be super fun. I think stuff like that too. That's more skewed to the comic area. That's a good opportunity to bring other creators onto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you wrapping up, Phil, or not? Because I'll show one thing if you are before we go.
Rabbit. We're gonna do a little hangover.
Sure.
Or you guys
We'll do a short one.
Yeah, I can do a. It sounded like it was wrapping up, so I was like, I want to show a thing just before.
Dangle out. Yeah, we could do a little, and then we'll talk about our books and stuff right after this.
I have an excellent idea. Let's change the subject.
There we go. I don't have a cat video. I'm sorry. I hate cats.
You didn't download it? You should do a dog version of the cat video. That would be great.
Yeah,
just take the cat video and paste the dog head over it. Like a doge.
Maybe I'll do that. But yes, now we're going to hang out. We're going to, just for a little bit, and maybe update our, talk about what we're doing and working on. But Jake, what did you have to?
It is actually related to my book.
Ooh.
I'll share my thing.
I'm excited. Yeah, you guys definitely check out Carnival Barbarian. Sign up. The link is in the description. I'll pull that up.
So I may have been working on this a little bit during the stream. So on Rini's Draw streams, I've been like slowly putting away on this Carnal model. So I can do 3D. I have a game I'm working on called Hollow Fist. You can actually check it out on Steam if you go to fist.zone. It's the world's first fisting adventure. And it's you can go check wishlist on Steam today. So I did all the 3D art for that game, like all the character models, all the environment stuff, all the props. And so, you know, the coloring for Fiendish 2.5 is finally coming. I've been handing in like a page a day as well for the last, like recently.
Very good. Very good.
But yeah, I want. So on Rini's Draw stream, yeah, whoa, it's looking a lot better. That's okay. This is how it works.
That's 3D.
It looks shit at the beginning, and it's embarrassing.
It's like a blob of dough. Imagine it's like clay, and then you kind of flesh it out.
Yeah, of course.
So it started off just like this, you know what I mean? And this is the like groundwork before. Like here's an earlier version of him.
So
like,
creepy.
He's an old man. He's got no teeth.
And I usually duplicate off different stages of the character as I'm going, but like I don't have one previous. But yeah, it looked terrible before, but like look at him. He's coming together and oh Maya.
So are you gonna use this as like maybe in like a trailer for the
No. So okay. So I had my 3D printing phase, which followed the typical arc of everything I get interested in. Massive obsession, then instant shop fall off. I bought 10 liters of 3D printing resin. As soon as they got delivered, I stopped printing stuff. It was amazing. It's typical chaotic.
You can send
to
it
My
to
brother's
me.
printing stuff too. He just printed a big ass Catwoman statue. He got off a CG Trader and a Poison Ivy he's doing.
The last thing I printed was a huge Lara Croft. Like she's amazing. The sculpt's amazing. But
Are
it's
you gonna paint them?
Yeah, I'm gonna paint them. I bought primer. I've been gluing them together and priming them. But basically, I wanted to make a model just in case, like I could rig this and pose it and do whatever I want. Because I wanted to see if I could 3D print this, but it's not exactly printable topography. But basically, since doing this for a bit of fun on Irene's draw streams, I feel like I want to make 3D models of the characters in Connell to use them as like reference images, not to like trace over and stuff, but like because it's everything is like defined about him now. Like all of these actual, like he looks a little bit more realistic than he would in the book.
Well, this is what Alex Ross does for his modern comics. Like he just did his Fantastic Four book last year, 2 years ago, and he was on Cartoonist Kayfabe, and he showed the sculpt of Mr. Fantastic's face that he sculpted from clay, and he was saying, yeah, now he could light it from any angle,
yeah,
and then draw. And I mean, that's why his stuff looks the way it is because he's going off of actual lighting.
Do you know what? This is flat lighting. So there's I fucking love flat color textures on characters. This is gonna be I'm gonna texture this where it'll look lit even when it's just textured and it'll look beautiful.
Yeah.
But I can actually do that where like use all lights. Like those now there's no lights because those are in the materials, those are the shadow colors I use. I love using colored shadows. Like I hate having black shadows in anything. And if I just create like a light, like a fucking directional light, there we go.
Yeah.
So now I could it doesn't matter where it is, but like, yeah. Like,
oh yeah, it's cool.
But it, for his face, I could do that whatever. But it's like for the different muscle, like his how the design of his muscles.
The shadows that his bulbous eyes throw across his face is funny.
Weird.
Look at that. But it's just going to be really fun doing this with a bunch of the characters because I can do it quite quickly. Like on Hollow Fist, I'd be able to model like a whole character in a day if I was super focused. Like awesome. I get artisanally focused. Like if I've been modeling all day and I go out with friends later that day, I won't talk. I won't be able to say anything.
Yeah.
It'll be.
You go out with friends?
Oh my.
Yeah, surprisingly quite often. Well, like family too. Like if I'm working and I go and see my mom or my grandparents, they're like, "You're quiet today, Jake," or like, "You're irritable today, Jake," and I'm like, "I know I was working on 3D stuff. I'm sorry."
That's true. You kind of feel like you're in a different world.
Yeah, you disappear. It just turns because it's all like if I go back to default, it's all just okay. I get the fucking edge cut tool, and then I'm gonna like make new edge loops, new edges that are here, and then it's gonna like, cut back in.
Are you doing it all with a mouse?
Yeah, all with a mouse. So it's basically a lot of it is creating new edges and stuff, and then just moving them like that super quick. And like now I'll grab these edges, and instead of making them soft edges, I'll make them hard edges. So now they have like that jaggedy look to them, like a hard line. But then so a lot of this it's you'll lay the topography down, and then you can get like the relax tool or the smoothing tool, and it can look worse than this, right? Like initially you're just basically putting the squares down not exactly perfectly, then you can like hit it with this and it'll make it like more smooth, like more Pixar-ish.
Sure.
It's like that. This is a bit destructive right now. What I'm doing, like it's removed. Like all of that stuff was already well defined. So oh shit, I saved. Ha! Undo. I don't want any of that. Holy shit.
Have you ever tried to look into learning ZBrush with like a pen tool and a tablet?
Man, I hate sculpting. I just don't. Yeah. Like that is the modern workflow now, right? Like I should be doing that. A 3D artist should be doing that. They should be, especially if they want to make stuff for 3D printing. It's like learn ZBrush, sculpt. Like you could sculpt in this, I suppose. They probably
but
have
ZBrush
a tool.
feels so much more natural.
I don't like sculpting. I fucking love hard. I love hard poly modeling, and I love making mid poly. Like the amount the polygons on this, like what? That's only 7,000 for all that part of his body. Yeah, 15. So this character will end up only being about 20,000 tries, which is actually like you could put it in a video game and probably run it on the Switch. Like it won't, you know what I mean? Like it would be a pretty efficient. Like you could probably make some. Wait, but if I click 3, did it not do it?
Jelly Green says Adderall is a hell of a drug.
So there is this cool thing. So you know how Disney Pixar stuff, you'll imagine like, oh, how many triangles do they need to make all that stuff look super smooth? Well, they actually only usually have like a low amount of polys like this. They aren't super high poly, but there's a way of like rendering it where like you see how smooth this is now. Like you can just press a key and it basically smooths it, even though it only has a low
smooth.
So smooth.
It's like it registers the curvature of each square almost, and it looks smoother than the actual poly count would indicate.
Why don't you stream yourself doing this on your channel?
Because it would be artisanal as fuck. I would sit there and be okay.
People
I have been doing it
watch it on
Irene's draw streams. I'm working on this on Irene's Sunday draw stream. So if you do want to see,
it's already artisanal, so you that's why you
artisanal.
Yeah,
it's
autistical.
We're a bunch of autisticals. You want to see his ass? Is that okay?
Don't. There you go.
He has a very well crafted ass. But yeah,
well done.
This character is Connell from Connell the Barbarian, my comedic fantasy. You'll be able to see him get in a crazy adventure if you go to connellcomic.com and sign up. Like I said, coloring on Fiendish 2.5 is winding down now. I have 2 pages left to finish. I finished one today. I don't think Irene's even seen it yet, but I sent her one today.
What?
I guess not.
Yeah, 2 to go. And then I'm going to be...
I'd look at it if you sent it to me, Jake. You know?
Oh my god.
I wouldn't ignore
You know what?
it.
I can't jump on Connell straight away because I have one thing to color for Phil before I do. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
But man, coloring has been so fun. I've been getting so much better at it too. Like my book's gonna look great now.
You have been improving.
But yeah, go sign up and check it out. I'm gonna try. I will try and basically start streaming more again on my channel. Now I'm gonna be drawing my own thing, and I'm planning on getting it all done mostly ahead of time as much as I can. And it's gonna launch October 1st, the 1st of October. Yeah, so check it out. It's hilarious. It's amazing, and I had even more feedback. And 2 people have made like a similar comment now. So I'm looking forward to doing the final layouts. Basically,
that's good. What was I going to say? Oh, you have a big launch, Irene.
I don't know about a big launch. Hopefully it is. I'm trying to pull it up, so thank you. I can't find my own preview.
That's tomorrow.
Link. Yes, it is. It's tomorrow. My God. I'm gonna take a break and try and relax, and I haven't relaxed. I just had a lot of other stuff to catch up on this week.
Yeah, no breaks. No breaks for you.
No, you oh my God, you guys don't understand. Anyone who's on a campaign understands. There are no breaks because Fiendish 2.5 on Fund My Comic close, and what I'm launching tomorrow is 2.5 on Indiegogo with a exclusive variant, and that'll be a super short, like 2-week campaign because we're going to print this month. It is March now, and we're fulfilling in April. So I'm just getting, it's just a second chance in getting the numbers. But yeah, this week has been talking to printers, more talking to printers, talking to factories, getting commissions done. It's been crazy. But the good news is, let me share the screen so you guys can actually see this. But Phoenix 1 and 2, which I had to do a new print run for, so those are the permanent cover versions.
Mm-hmm.
I ran out of stock for those, which is a good problem to have, but it keeps happening. So I printed more, and those got sent off to the printer already. And I'm printing those first because we're going to print those. And then when the 2.5 Indiegogo close, all the 2.5 orders will go out and get printed. And so then those can all go to RJ around like by the end of March is what I'm thinking. So that's the whole process. I've got everything planned out. But yeah, I did effectively a second edition of chapter 2 and stuff. Why isn't this showing? It's being all like weird and stuff. There we go.
I love the new cover.
Where's it?
I remember fighting against Down Goes Solo for the original of that cover. Little did we know. I know he won it in the auction. Little did we know it would be so. Like it's an even better piece now. He had no idea it would end up becoming a cover. So there you go.
Someone asked. So going forward, because someone asked me to reveal what covers will be on which campaigns or which platforms ahead of time, and I would. I'll try to do that going forward. I literally didn't know this was going to be the Indiegogo cover. I drew this piece, the original, for the Fun My Comic launch because I did an auction on my channel, and people liked this so much I made it a cover. So it was this was not planned from the start. But yeah, I think I really liked having 2.5 be multi-platform. It's turned out pretty great. I'm still not sure what order I would launch in, but what I'm doing is for the Fun My Comic, I launched there first. And I appreciate that they have a lower percentage for the platform rate. And then I launched Indiegogo second. And what's great is Indiegogo has secret perks. Fun My Comic and Kickstarter don't. But what I did was I sent out a secret perk link to the Fun My Comic backers with super cheap shipping. So you just have to pay for like the extra weight. You don't have to pay for the base shipping. You can tack on the Indiegogo variant to your Fun My Comic order, and then it all ships together is what I'm doing because I'm consolidating both campaigns and shipping every order by all the backer by backer, if that makes sense. So I quite like that. I don't know if I'll do the exact same thing for 3, but I'm considering it. But yeah, so here is a preview for the 2.5 campaign on Indiegogo. It's not live yet. It's going live tomorrow. I don't know what time, like 6 or 7. I'm going to be busy till 6 or 7. But it'll be launching on my channel, so everybody go there and we'll just drink, I guess, and shoot the shit and be silly. And I don't know. I have no plans whatsoever, but I'm sure I'll figure something out because that's how every stream on my channel goes. And hopefully everyone who missed out on the book can get it this time. Yay!
Yeah, Angela. Now's your time.
Yeah, Angela thought the closeout was Sunday when it was actually Saturday. But yeah, so here it's the same more or less as the Fun My Comic, except it only has this cover. So this is the Fun My Comic covers aren't available anymore. Look at this. This look cool. I'm so proud of this. It's all 3 of them lined up. Oh, it made me so happy. I do have a new art to show. I forgot. Wait. So Nick did a new back cover for chapter 2.
Who's Nick?
Oh my god. Nick's my colorist. He's never online, so nobody knows about him, but he's my awesome colorist. And he actually does some back covers as well. So, hold on. Let me show you guys.
Are you going to show it?
Yeah, I need to pull it up. Give me a second.
Is it colored or still black and white?
It's colored. It got sent to print.
I haven't seen it colored.
Oh, you look for that. Look at these
echidnas. Turned it in.
Echidnas! Echidna.
Oh, it's so fun.
When Bancroft showed me echidnas, basically I realized something about them. the links to popular. They're beautiful little fuckers. Look at them.
They're so
there's a
wobbly,
there's a,
and they're big too. They're much bigger than hedgehogs.
yeah, that's
They're
why
so
Knuckles is bigger and he's got like big fists.
Yeah,
It's Knuckles, unlike Sonic, he don't chuckle. Where is that one image? But he does chuckle. It's a lie. The lyric from that song is wrong. All the way from Sonic 3, Knuckles is chuckling.
It's a little ball. It's so cute.
You gotta get the faces. I'll try and pull some echidna images.
There was no faces, but it was cool. Like, it was in this Australia part of the zoo, and it's an indoor habitat. And I guess they're nocturnal, so it was really dark in there, and they only had red lights on. And then they had bats too, which were really cool to see. Bats climbing up like vines and stuff, like the way they move. It's pretty awesome.
I'll show you the photos Bancroft sent me of that he. Okay, hold on.
Did you find that? Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. That's really cool.
So here's the back. I'm trying to give me like 2 seconds so I can smash together the front and back cover. You guys can see what the new chapter 2 cover is gonna look like.
Badass.
Which is you guys know how to do it. I have these after the campaigns. I do like a permanent version. So going forward, the chapter 2 covers will all be different. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's badass. Really cool.
Now them's colors.
Them's colors. Yeah, Nick's my colorist, and he's not online, and he likes to keep a super low profile, but he does amazing work. And he's an artiste. I wish he's not, but he's awesome. Not as wild and like me. He doesn't do crazy shit on the internet. Hold on, let me.
He doesn't debase himself.
Yeah.
Debase or deface?
Debase.
Debase yourself.
Debase, man.
He has decorum, unlike me. I have no decorum, which is why I'm in charge of all the marketing, because that's how this shit works.
Wait, so does Wyoming have 3 finger?
Yes.
I didn't realize Wyoming had 3 finger.
It's tri-finger, we call it.
You've only read 3 chapters of this comic.
She got Simpson.
You're only working on it.
I don't look at the hands.
You're only working on it.
I'll be right back.
You're only working on it, Jake.
Hold on. Keep my screen up. I'll pull up the combo in a minute.
Pizza Hut and Taco Bell? Wait. Oh, that one's a human. I'm trying to find out where she fucked up.
What?
I saw someone with 4 fingers, but it was a human.
Yeah, exactly. The dev have 3 fingers. They have 1 less finger and toe than humans, and they have a tail. I've had a lot of people draw them, and they fuck it up. And I'm like, I know it's a small detail, but they're not just dark elves. They're dev. They're a whole different thing I came up with. I know it's subtle, but they do have 3 fingers and a tail.
I need now. I'm gonna make a fantasy race with an extra finger.
You would do that. Oh, so inventive, Jake! Oh my god.
2 thumbs, a thumb on each side of the fucking hand. There you go. They got double thumbs.
Wow, amazing! Who would have ever thought of that? Oh, this file
They can make huge snowballs.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's a new cover. That's a whole spread. Front, back, and the spine.
Like how the palettes match each other. That's very good.
Yeah, we decided together to make it all match together. There you go.
I also like how he tried to prove his own point about the fire and the direction of the fire.
I'm gonna, if I was an ass, I would be like, so Nick, your fire isn't all consistent here, and no, it's fine.
It's a really good fire.
Me and my colorist nitpick the shit out of each other's work, and this is why we're artist friends, because it helps. It helps each other get better, but sometimes it's like, dude, why are you nitpicking something that nobody cares about? But it's good.
I'm back.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, dude, that
No.
works
So
so
yeah,
well. So cool.
this is the new. If you order chapter 2, you'll be getting this cover, and everyone knows. Where's my chapter 1 book? Oh, I have so many books. Just piled up. Chapter 1 is. This is the permanent cover for chapter 1. So going forward, you have these two: chapter 1 and chapter 2. And that's
So
it.
is this particular cover the one that's up for sale on the shop on your website right now?
Yeah, it's both. It's the permanent cover going forward, unless I do I combine 1 and 2 and 2.5 or something. But for chapter 2, this is the permanent cover. And if you order on the shop or on any campaign, my plan is it'll always be this cover, because I don't like having a million variants. I like having the variants for the campaigns because those are low print run. It actually doesn't cost anything extra to just print a different variant. It doesn't cost much more. So those are collector's items. But after the campaign, I'm like, okay, this will always be the chapter 1 cover, and this will always be the chapter 2 cover for every campaign going forward. You know what I mean? And obviously, unless I do like an omnibus, of course, then that would be something new. But yeah, on the web store and on the 2.5 campaign, chapter 2 will be with this cover, and this will be launching tomorrow evening on my channel. It's a super straightforward campaign. Got the Springtide cover that everybody loves with young Casimir and Ragna, just all romantic and shit, which is very unlike them. But, listen, they can have a soft spot once in a while. And here's the one campaign tchotchke, because it's a very book-focused campaign, but I'm making... Casimir has this pendant in the story that means something in the story. And so I got my factory to make the pendant, and it's effectively an enamel pin, but without the enamel in it. I just talked to them. They're like, yeah, we can totally do that. So it's like a replica. I thought it was interesting. Hopefully other people like it too. So that's a tchotchke for this campaign, and everything else is just you can get the other chapters of Fiendish. So yeah, there you go. Hope you guys will be there tomorrow.
That's looking awesome. Yeah, we're doing going to print in probably a week or so. We're getting everything ready. We got all the pages in. Just have like a color edit to do. And so we're in the process of doing pre-press right now. In fact, I have like PDFs are made. So I'm super excited.
It's a great feeling. Oh my god. So I'm like, I did some small edits on the pages over the past few months, right? Just like tweaking things that I was nitpicky about for chapter 2 and 1. I changed the extra content. I'm like, everything's like ready to go. I just have to throw together the PDF. And then right before I have to go to print, and this is why I've been so busy this week, it's like a million problems. Like as soon as I throw everything in the PDF, I'm like, oh no, this doesn't match up. This letter placement is wrong. I edited this page, but then I sized it wrong, and then I just spent a whole day correcting my own mistakes and putting together the file. And then my computer was lagging, so I made everything worse. And then it just like took fucking forever. But it's a great feeling when you finally just send it to print. I'm so relieved.
Yeah, here's a little bit of sneak peek of the let's see. Zoom this out. PDF. I sent this out to like buddies to look over and stuff. But title pages.
Oh, I love the reds, and the almost candy stripe white of the tattoos against that red.
Oh yeah.
Atmosphere.
This is a Preston Acevedo piece he did a while back. His first time I think he hid Brandon and I in it. And there's me. But we're gonna change some lettering stuff, and this isn't the final PDF. But freaking doing it. We're doing as good as gonna be. The whole file is like over 90 pages, and including like back material of the concept art and bio pages that I've shown a little sneak peeks of. So I got those all proofread and edited up, and we're almost good to go. We had one issue with colors that I had to have my colorist switch some things around. Just waiting on that. and then the print file is going to be ready to be uploaded. So super excited. This is going to be a freaking thick book. The covers are going to, I just can't wait to have these in my hands because the colors in this story are so vibrant, like the contrast between Crimstone and Wastoid. I just can't wait to see it on the paper. It's going to be super cool. And I posted, let me see if I have it here. I can pull it up. Did a little quick post on YouTube just for the channel and a sneak peek at one of the final pages. No spoilers or anything, but it's just some awesome, a cool look at some of Dan Dahl's work that he's been doing. When he was in the chat a little bit ago, just wanted to give him a little shout out. Some cool Dan Dahl hobo action, wrapping up the story, getting shaken. You know, the homeless men. We got to give them their time in comics. That's what all this story is about. Is bringing it back to the homeless people. You know.
Do you have Schrodinger's homeless in play? Like, if someone abuses a homeless person, they have to tell on them to the police later. Does that happen? Does the homeless man tattle on the person harassing him later or not? Does the homeless get a revenge?
You'll have to wait and read the book.
Okay. Just saying, because I swear Schrodinger's hobo is a real thing.
I never heard of that.
I made it up.
That makes sense.
It's true. Someone abuses a homeless man. That homeless person gets his revenge by telling someone about the person who harassed him.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Maybe that's a British thing.
A Britishism.
Alex says, I feel like you don't want to run late, so I posted what I had finished. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Yeah, I'll take a look at it in a second. But if you have not backed the Lost Pages, we're so close to 42,000. It would be awesome if we got there. So spread the word. We have everything that you'd want on this campaign. If you have not read any of the previous books, you get the collected edition. And there's also an Ashcan on here, which is a side story about the People, who's a badass vigilante. If you love Frank Miller, it's totally inspired by a lot of his work, including Daredevil, even Sin City. Dan, the artist on this, is a huge Miller fan, and he put a lot of that layout style that you guys are familiar with into this story. So there's 2 issues right now. We're going to be working on the 3rd issue for the next campaign of the Lost Pages. So this is kind of like an ongoing. It's going to be it's a 3-part miniseries, Ashcan form, and then hopefully we could collect it all one day and do all that. So yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing that.
Nice.
Also, Narwhal, you got your sign up, which is in the description down below. People could get on your.
Oh, thanks. Cool. Yeah, that because I mailed out the last of Hotel Story yesterday, so I'm in a little bit about that like afterglow of fulfillment until I'm sure I'll get like emails if people don't get their books. That usually happens a couple at least or whatever. But yeah, so for now it's like life is good. I'm kind of relaxing a little bit, but pretty soon after I treat myself to dinner or something, then next week basically I can launch if I want to. So I might launch Grand Prix next week, maybe the week after that. But
dude, that's like that calm before the storm. Like right now, Irene and I are ramping up for production and going into like these printers and stuff, and then fulfillment. That's gonna be crazy too. But you're like in this lull right now.
Yeah, I just did it, so I have like the euphoric relaxation after. It is a haul to get through fulfillment, even if it's not crazy. Like this one, Hotel Story was 325 packages, so my parents helped me a little bit, and I busted those out in about a week, and then now it's done. And yeah, and so keep your eye out for Hotel Story too. Help spread the word on that because it is like I'm really proud of it. I think people are gonna love it. So just let people know if you like it and stuff. Let me know if you read it in one sitting. That's always the narwhal thing.
Yeah, I love all the review shows that are popping up now, which is awesome. So if you guys get it, shout it out, post on Twitter, do review, let us know.
Yeah, I love seeing those. I want people to read.
Yeah.
our comics, and I love hearing feedback. It's important.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Good. Look at those chiseled abs that Jake is making us focus on.
I'm making the I guess yeah. I'm doing the fur around it. I can't draw fur for shit, and I'm like, maybe if I just actually design specifically what is fur, which tufts are where exactly, then I'll be able to draw it more easily. Because I won't have to make it up on the fly. I can't do fur. You can do fur really well. I can't. I'm not. I don't think I'm not a good artist.
Fur's fun.
I need to figure out how to make it fun. It's like even trees. My trees don't look cool. Like I think
trees are hard though. I think I gotta figure out what trees are fucking hard.
But
it's all the detail of it's that texture of how do you draw fur that looks like fur and not hair? How do you draw trees that look like trees and not just cloud poofs and all the different types of leaves and stuff? It takes time. I get it.
The balance of detail. Phil, if you're still there, you could share my screen there for a sec, just to connect back to the echidna thing.
This one.
This is something Bancroft sent to me, and he's like, echidna's greater than hedgehogs. And it's like this cute fucking, like, look at this guy!
Look at that weird looking thing! It looks so derpy. It's like,
you want to step off me, perchance? Oh, I do not know. I couldn't possibly be on your letter, could I? Me? But then I went and found a picture of an echidna, a photo.
It's the most punchable one. No, it's not. It's so cute.
Like, well, okay. So I found this photo, and then it made me realize that maybe these guys from Fifth Element might have been
Monocuan.
It's totally just based off echidnas. Look, they got the fucking look at the long nose. Look how the nose goes out. They got like the long nose with the little thing at the end. Look here. Yeah. They got the big fat ass fucking arms. Did they have
knuckles? Look, why does that echidna's eyes? Why are they so beautiful? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got little anime eyes going on.
Well, they're a little far apart. They look like the girl who played Ariel in the new movie.
Yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy, kind of from a witch.
Said the slot.
Australia is so weird. It just looks like it's like how the platypus, when it was discovered, people in Europe were like, this isn't real. You just sewed a bunch of skins together. This looks like fucking Australia is just weird. This is like a sloth and a hedgehog and a platypus or a duck's face all sewn together.
A sledgehog.
You know what
he's even got red blush cheeks going on.
Oh,
he's playing piano.
Yeah.
With those Disney eyes.
Holy Hand Grenade says it's a stretch. I don't know, man. These two specific photos look vaguely similar in probably one or two aspects. So naturally, it's a dead match. But yeah.
Totally.
I get you.
Gotta love that motherfucker. But yeah, that's what Knuckles is based off in Sonic.
All right, here we go.
So color him red.
Time for the meme.
The meme.
Oh, I love this one because there's no dialogue in it.
There's no text.
Look at Napoleon.
I like the
Robot Napoleon at the top.
Ropolian.
I bet this was easy.
Damn, look at him.
It's Ropolian.
Oh my god. The ghost of Napoleon makes a reappearance. Okay. Who are there's the cat shitting.
There's Arzak at the top.
Dude,
a cat turd. No.
Yeah, there's Arzak.
Phil, you should have focused on the cat's turd for longer. I don't know why you would have.
No, please. Let's look at something else.
Running the show.
There's Gout, the foot.
Yeah, Gout foot.
Oh my god.
Kind of a wiener staff.
Gout strike.
Muscles that don't exist.
Nah,
the crystals come out of the foot, and it's like a giant spiky foot, right? That's what it would be.
Echidna foot. It's like spikes.
Yeah.
Those muscles are not in the right position.
What the hell is that?
Is that you?
Is that me?
Go backwards leg.
Oh yeah, he's got my sunglasses on my forehead.
Got AI
I'm doing
legs.
ass first. I'm like Armika from Street Fighter. The ass.
Yeah, this janky anatomy.
Some. You look so
What?
Asian.
This might be the most Asian rendering of me. I look like Lan Fang from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Like your massive
He
bobblehead.
didn't, he didn't even Photoshop your face on there because it was close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You just it's an Asian. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the normal one's not bad.
The beard matches.
We're all vagabond characters.
Yeah.
Super weird shoe I'm wearing.
Big old shoe.
That's like the
Super
fattest
weird shoe.
Japanese slipper.
Who's
Oh my
this?
god, it's like a Japanese. Oh, Disturbed album.
The music, it's that the we should.
Oh, is
The
that the
soundtrack.
Sound of Silence song? Is that why it's on there?
Did a cover. Disturbed cover
Yeah.
on the Silence.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love that song.
The cat turding is the best.
No, it's not.
I'm
Damn it. Race
at least glad the cat defecated and didn't just desiccated.
Poignant.
It's going
Who's the
straight
character
for
on-
Phil.
It's not poignant, Phil. It's good that he didn't die. It would have been poignant if he hadn't shat.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
Because you've taught us what poignant means now. So now we can.
Yeah.
Why is there
I
already-
still challenge that. I don't think it means.
Yeah, I don't believe him. He's trying to pull a
Because
fast
the
one.
thing,
The
what I was
definition.
thinking is, if it meant sad, then there's no reason for the word poignant, so it can't just mean sad.
Oh my god.
Well done.
Poignant.
Thank you, Alex. That's great. I like how the silent show was had a silent me. We should have just started the stream and then just everybody started talking but muted. It would have been perfect.
Oh, is
The
Jason
entire
in the
stream
picture?
muted.
Yeah.
Huh?
I didn't see Jason. Where is he?
Jason?
Oh wait, there's more
It was
that I didn't
It
see.
was the fifth figure because there were 5 figures.
What do you mean? Oh, I literally did not see him. How did I not see him?
Yes, that right against the sky. You didn't
He's
see
the
him.
highest contrast,
Contrast.
one, Phil.
It's so weird. Okay, yeah, that's Jason.
My mind just blocked him out. It's so weird. Yeah, he looked the coolest too. He's the most badass.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then this,
Yeah, that's awesome.
there's a 3.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, they're
Tucked
down there in
away.
the trees.
What does that mean?
Yay! Sitting in a tree.
Their launch is impending.
What's
3-1 is
three?
the date. That's the date. It launches today, March
3-1.
1st. Was it supposed to be a pun that they're sitting in a tree? I'm gonna just think that was intentional, Alex.
'Cause they're-
Casimir Ragnar
It's
sitting in a
IMG.
tree.
Oh.
LAUNCH.
What?
H?
Launching.
You tried. You tried.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But someone did.
Killing.
Arzak. It's Arzak in front of the moon.
I like that.
Not to be confused with Narzak.
Yeah, it's only
I
one
like how-
letter off. It's funny.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You
I
should
like how we
do.
both
Wait,
thought about
you guys should do a Mobius inspired Narzak book, but it's like you and him. Maybe you're the bird that he's riding on. He's got like a M16.
Maybe a single drawing, not a book. Though.
A full book,
An entire book.
multiple volumes.
Painstakingly.
200 pages. My new life.
Guys, I got it. It's so we were all jumping and leaping off a cliff because it's a leap year.
Whoa.
Oh,
Poignant.
They're
let's
evolving.
see. Yeah, poignant. It is.
By poignant, I mean the definition of poignant is evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret.
I don't
No
care.
way.
I'm going to redefine a word as just that is meaningful.
It means it's relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it means
meaningful,
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah.
We don't
That's what
care
it
about your
means to
stupid
me.
definition, Phil. Language evolves and changes
I
over time.
determine what
You are-
English means.
Here are some similes: touching, moving, sad, sadden, affecting, pitiful, piteous.
Mhm.
So
Moving.
it's relevantly melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
Relative
Yeah,
melancholy.
that's not bad. That's not a bad definition.
Yeah. There you go.
Like how Phil just couldn't wait till the stream was finished before he started eating. He's like, I must eat now.
Cereal, bro. Come on.
Cereal in a shower.
We should,
Is the way.
We'll just
A
start
shower,
showering.
shit, and a shave.
I put up some art in my apartment. I put the look. I put the couch here. There's now a casting couch behind me.
Nice.
It's actually a
You
food
cast your girlfriend every night.
Did you know? You can get like free sex if you just hold auditions for pornos.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah,
this.
If you like that messed up Japanese movie where that guy did that, or he was trying to get a girlfriend through auditioning actresses, and then he ended up picking the psycho one that
Oh yeah.
almost killed him.
You can find a girlfriend by doing porn auditions.
Audition.
That whole movie, you know, my favorite part of that movie was so this like greasy ass middle-aged man was like, I need a girlfriend, so I'm gonna hold auditions for women and pretend to be like a casting agency. And he picked this chick who was really pretty, but then she turned out to be a psycho. So she like drugged him and she like tortured him through acupuncture, was gonna kill him. And then his Chad ass son, who was like this whole time, his sleazy ass middle-aged father was like, oogling at women. And the boy, this teenage boy comes home and was like, yeah, there's this girl I was talking to, but I didn't like her. She's a hoe, so I stopped talking to her. He's like this most Chad ass teenager, and the son ended up saving. The son came home and ended up saving his dad. This is really weird. Ended up saving his dad, who was about to be killed by the psycho woman. He just came back and just like bitch slapped this bitch. It was like, get the fuck out of here, some shit. It was hilarious.
Nice. I forget how it ends. I was like, everyone dies, and it's cool if they survive.
What was that movie called? Oh my god.
Hey, there's me. With a delay.
Way too trippy.
Oh god.
Well, where has my face got to be? Oh, there we go.
So that's my new room.
That's the best I can do.
There you go.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching.
So thanks for tuning in for the Creative Block, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on silence and a lesson in psychopathy as demonstrated right now. Join us next week for another show. Join us for another
Who has next week?
stream. I don't know.
She supposedly. That was, we can talk though, because if I launch my book, maybe I could take next week, or not. It doesn't matter. So, but I might.
You can.
Oh yeah, we didn't do the vote. We didn't.
Oh, the vote. There's a poll going on. Dogs versus cats.
Oh yeah.
I'm ending the
dogs
poll.
are gonna win. Everyone knows.
Vote Snow Leopard.
Cats are underdogs.
94 votes. The dogs win because it's right.
Cats are the underdogs. That's great.
Cats are not underdogs.
I'm very
go dogs go! Go
very
dogs go!
disappointed.
Hey Apple.
What did the cats get? Did they get like 60 votes?
They get an extra large turd.
They got 29.
Painfully
All
large
this
in their asses.
cat shit talk that sabotaged the cat vote, guys.
You're the one eating it.
29%.
I didn't want to tell this story earlier, but today I got shit on by a bird. And I was jogging.
Okay, have a good night, everybody.
That's always disappointing. That happened to me in school once, Noel.
No,
that's what I
good
told
luck.
the crackhead.
That's
Yeah,
good luck.
because I was jogging by a crackhead and it was really awkward. So I said hi, right? And he said hi to me. Right as I said hi to him, I got shit on by a bird. And then I was like, oh man, I just got shit on by a bird. He's like, don't let it get in your eye. You'll get bird flu. You'll die. I was like, I'm going to check. Hold on. So I kind of hung out with him while I was like checking my clothes. And I was like, man, this bird shit really made my fate line up with this crackhead for a little bit. Then I kind of went on my way after. But I got some of the bird poo splattered on my glasses. I'm like, oh my God, it's so close to my eye. And I wiped it off in a hurry. And then I was
Every
like,
time we're snacking on something, you have to start talking about shit, Narwhal.
well, it's been a big part of my life the past few weeks. It's just serendipitous.
His life took a fecal turn.
Yeah, I'd never been crapped on by a bird before though, so I actually felt like it was good luck because I was like, "Oh, nice, finally they choose me." Because Jake's right that they do shit on people in high school. Those are the chosen few. I'm like, "Oh, I wish I kind of would have got shit."
I
on.
got shat on at school. Fucking, and we have to wear uniforms, so I couldn't just get changed into anything. Yeah, I got shat on.
Yeah.
Chosen by the winged.
That's a good spot to end it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Brought it all the way
Perfect.
back around to shit.
We'll
See
tune
you
in
next
next
week.
week.
Perfect Phil show.
We'll see you
And
later.
tomorrow for the
Tomorrow.
Fiendish 2.5 launch on my channel.
What time?
And then let's say we'll start at 8.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Awesome. So we'll
Nice.
do Diaz Brothers show and then you. Which will be
Perfect.
Cool.
perfect.
Oh, Minecraft.
See you guys then. Have a good night. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. Enjoy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see. Maybe I could send you guys somewhere. We could raid you out. But until then, we'll catch you on the flip flop. See ya.